What's up, y'all? This is Mara Juno, and you might know me from World of Warcraft as Illyria Windrunner or the Walking Dead game as Krista, among a few others. And you're listening to the man, the legend, the Scott Clark, and the Gaming Outsider.
What's happening, Gaming Outsiders? This week we're sharing what gaming tattoos we have or would like to have for those of us that don't have one. In news, Game Pass is actually getting the price increase we all expected. You'll also hear my impressions of the demo for a run-based randomizer called Galactic Glitch. Alyssa played 2 games called Sunlight Scream and B Project RYUSEI Fantasia. Also, David stops by to tell us about his experience with an interesting-looking puzzler called DROS. This is the Gaming Outsider. Greetings, programs, and welcome to the Gaming Outsider, a video game podcast with a focus on our incredible community, which can be found at thegamingoutsider.com, facebook.com/groups/thegocast, or on our Discord server. There's a link for it in the show notes for this very episode. It is Sunday, July 14th. I'm your host, Noah. Actually, it's Scott Clark.
Noah.
And joining me are my good friends, Zack Parkerson. What's up?
It's me, the Ark.
Yes. And Alyssa White.
I guess I'm one of the animals on the ark now.
Hey, okay, she did get the reference finally. Yeah, we had a flood in Rockford.
I understand. Also, my name is Zack, just to be clear. It's not the Ark.
Yes. And I'm not an animal, by the way. I'm a human being.
Noah, you survived a flood.
Yes.
I did. I actually did not get it nearly as bad as our fourth host, Chris Behrensmeyer, who is not here. Once again, I promise you he is still a part of the Gaming Outsider.
We did not off him.
His mom's house.
He will be recording from 6 feet under in the future.
Oh my goodness. His mom's house got real bad flooding, and he's been spending the day cleaning that out, and she also lost power, and he actually records at her house, so he has no power to even be here for the podcast. So hopefully gets that cleaned up. But it has been a nutty 24 hours here in Rockford. We had
those pictures look scary.
My buddy posted a picture of his street. Someone had there was a garbage can that was blocking the sewage drainer, on the side of the road.
Oh, so it's just flooding the whole street?
So the water was literally up to the steps of his front porch.
Wow.
Yeah.
His entire front yard was flooded. He said he pulled away the garbage can, and it dropped 3 feet of water in about 10 minutes. Went down the drain.
Who do you think disobeyed the word of God to bring this down upon you?
I am not touching that with a 10-foot pole, man. I am not going there, but it is. I got some water in my basement as well. I turned off the dehumidifier so we could record, so you guys didn't have to hear a buzzing the entire time we were talking. But got a little bit of a soggy carpet. My collection is okay. If you guys were worried at all,
I was worried. It's my first thought.
I was too.
So my Nintendo collection is about 3 inches off of the ground. On the bottom shelf is 3 inches off the ground, and it did not get that high. So like I said, just a little bit of soggy carpet. Been shop vacuuming it and cleaning up, but that's where we're at. So hopefully things get straightened out for CB. It's putting a damper on my deck project for sure because I can't pour cement if the holes are filled with water. But I got my permit approved, so I can actually build my deck legally now. So,
are you gonna get down like a dog and just lap up all the water out of the hole, or
no? We are
what
going
kind of
to.
image do you have in your mind?
We're going to use a sump pump to remove the water, but then we have to let it dry out because you can't pour wet, cement into a not dry hole. Apparently, so it's just a mess. I am.
I've always said I was gonna make. Hole.
Yeah, I was gonna make a joke about dry hole too, but.
On the bright side, I have been getting in a lot more gaming this summer than you guys probably thought I was. So
that's
there
true.
Is that.
I would have assumed almost none.
Yeah, after my list of stuff to do, yeah.
Also based on precedent.
What do you mean?
Every summer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Fair enough.
Every summer I'm going to play these 16 games this summer. Hey, Scott, how many of those games you play? Oh, half of one.
Well, on the bright side, I've got an excuse to play games for 24 hours straight without stopping, and nothing can stop me. We are having our Extra Life event. I actually put out the Facebook event today, and it's going to be at Tilted 10. If you guys aren't familiar with Tilted 10, it's attached to Cherryvale Mall here in Rockford. It's a massive 2-story arcade, and they've got rooms for birthdays and whatnot, and they're going to let us use that. We're going to be bringing couches in and TVs. So if you want to join us, We would love it if you joined us. We're going to have TV set up there. We're going to have couches and places for you to sit, all comfy. You just got to bring your console. And we ask that you donate at least $50 to the cause, which, again, it does not go to us. It all goes to Children's Hospital. So, but yeah, they're giving us free reign of the arcade. We're going to be not sure what we're going to be playing. We're going to have to put together some kind of list of of stuff that people want us to play. Somebody asked about multiplayer gaming. I would hope there'll be some multiplayer gaming. We will have 2 connections for like an Ethernet port, one for the computer that's going to be streaming everything on Twitch, and one for whatever console we're streaming, and then everybody else will have a console as well too. So I would love it if you guys came out, come hang out, play some games with us.
You say 15 or 50?
50. 50.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
5.
It's for the
5
children, Zach.
It's for the kids.
I don't know them kids.
But Zach will leave them on the street, so.
You're absolutely right.
I gave us a goal of $1,000 to raise. $1,000. And you don't have to be there to donate. The link for the Extra Life event, you can donate right on there. I actually put my donation right in there. So if someone's not able to come but would like to help us reach that goal, it would be very much appreciated. You can find that on social media, and I'll put it in the notes for this episode as well too. So
I'm glad you're saving the kids.
Me too.
Doing my part, man. Like I said, it's an excuse to play video games. So
right, and if you can make yourself feel better by pretending it's for the kids, all the better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't forget R2V2. It is October 12th and 13th. I mentioned last week we're going to have arcade cabinets there, and I put out a poll for which games people would like to be seen there. We had like several tables to pick from. Would you like to make a guess as to what the top 3 cabinets are to be there?
X-Men?
No, it wasn't one that was available. It's kind of unfair if I don't tell you what cabinets
Yeah, I
are
was
there.
going to say, I don't know what was available.
I'll still make 3 guesses anyway.
Okay.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Konami game?
No, actually, that one
what
was
the
not
hell's
available
going on?
either. Yeah.
And I forget,
Galaga.
Well, Galaga's going to be there because CB owns a Galaga cabinet.
Oh,
So
okay,
we're gonna have,
okay.
we're gonna
I
have
gotta make the 3rd guess count. I can't be Miss Pac-Man.
No, but Pac-Man will be there. But Mortal Kombat 2.
I'm gonna hang myself because I failed as a gamer.
No.
Well, I didn't give you a list.
I'm gonna grab a controller and use a cord and go out the right way.
Mortal Kombat 2 is like the top of, has been voted for, I think, the most. And then behind that was Captain America and the Avengers.
Okay.
Which I've actually never played that one. That's another 4-player beat 'em
I
up.
would say that's along the same lines as X-Men, so I feel like I was on the right path.
Yeah.
And Crazy Taxi.
Whoa, Crazy Taxi.
Yeah. So
Are you excited about how often you're gonna have to hear yeah?
it's going to be fine.
All right.
I like that song.
Oh, it's a
actually
great song, yeah.
heard that song like randomly, like actually like when I was listening to Amazon Music the other day, and I was like, "Is this Crazy Taxi? Oh no, this isn't. This is a song." So
Yeah, I don't remember. If that song's not in the new Crazy Taxi, Sega messed up, right?
yeah, and I heard
Yeah.
the new Crazy Taxi is supposed to be like open worldish.
Yeah.
And I hope that just means like Burnout Paradise style, not like I don't know.
Well, Sega, the job listing was pretty open, right? Yeah, it's like a open world MMO kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about all that.
Seems like it will be a little bit more in depth. I mean, Crazy Taxi was just a great arcade game. Honestly, that was never what I wanted to play at home.
No,
Like it was on Dreamcast and stuff, but I didn't want to play that at home. That's like when you got to play in the arcade.
You like
so.
buy it for home or rent it because you're so excited, and then like after half an hour, you're like, oh yeah, I guess this is kind of this is not meant to be played in chunks.
Right.
Yeah.
This is just meant to be played in 5-minute bursts.
Right.
and-
You play Crazy Taxi in between the other arcade games you're playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, there's no Killer Queen Black. Now that's a cool arcade machine.
And man, well, it's just Killer Queen.
Oh,
in
you're
the
right. You're right.
arcade.
Yes. Yeah. Apologize. Yeah.
But we got Killer Queen Black on console, and I was so excited for that, and it was fun,
Mhm.
but it was not as much fun as sitting at that arcade. And
I don't know,
playing
man. I had a blast when we played it. I still have it
Yeah.
installed just in case. In case I get that phone call from
Yeah.
Scott Clark, Avenger style, we need to get the crew together. I'm ready.
Well, he's
Well,
gonna
maybe
be
that
there.
can happen now.
Yeah, that's true. I love that. That game is incredible. Especially
It
when
was-
you have the teams all fully loaded and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's just chaos.
Right.
But like anything can happen, and just people screaming and shouting. It's a blast.
I don't know. It's organized chaos.
Organized chaos. Let's get into the games we've been catching up on first before we get into the show proper. Zach, what have you been playing?
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I can't stop playing Dredge.
I wish I could say I've joined you, but my basement is a disaster.
I need to
So-
start playing it, but I'll talk about the games that took precedence over it.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
Scott,
I
you
should do. I
you
should
play,
just buy it on Switch so I can just play it on the plane when I come see you.
there you go. Well, I was gonna say you could play Dredge in your basement.
Like for real.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
See what
real
you
life
find
Dredge.
in the depths. Yeah. Well, I've been playing more of that. The fishing game. It's just so relaxing to me to play. Just go out and hunt some fish, and I think I can catch all the fish. If I can get all the species of fish, I think I might go for the platinum on this guy.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Has it
Are
gotten
you still not-
scarier?
I was going to
Sorry.
ask that too. Yeah. Is there more
No.
horror stuff yet?
Not really. I mean, it still feels like uncomfortable to be out at night, but it's really more because of like how annoying it is that your hull can get damaged.
Okay.
You know, by a giant tentacle. I mean, the stuff you see is cool, but yeah, I would not say it's a horror game by any means.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I was kind of hoping there was going to be some
Yeah.
like twist.
Me too.
Yeah, I thought night would be a bigger threat, but it's. I think last week we referred to it maybe as cozy horror.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
would agree with that. It's just kind of like some unsettling vibes, but they can be. You get an ability later on that makes it really trivial. Nighttime, you don't really have to worry about it as much,
Oh, that's good.
which makes hunting for the rare fish easier, I guess. But it's a little disappointing. Yeah, I want it to be a little more intimidating out there on the open seas.
I promise I will get back into it. I can't show you right now, but like,
Yeah.
not only have we had the flood, but I had a lot of work done in the basement this week. I had to get the water main had to be replaced. I had a new laundry sink put in and the gas line. It's just been construction on here, so I have not had access to my Xbox for a little bit. But.
Well, yeah, you guys don't have to play Dredge. It's okay. Just,
No, I was
I
like
would-
really looking
I'm going
forward to
to.
us play. It's fun when we all play a game
Yeah.
right.
at the same time.
See, so I should slow down. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I'm only like an hour or two, maybe. I'm probably like 3 hours into it, but
Yeah.
I haven't started yet, but I did have a stressful week, so
yeah,
kind of derailed a lot of my plans. So
I hear you.
Interesting.
What else you been playing, Zach?
Oh, on the Steam, I survived another horror, the Steam Summer Scale, which is similar
Yeah.
to getting flooded in terms of
it attacked
survivability.
me it attacked
Yeah.
me, Zach.
But I think I got out of it pretty light. But one of the games I got was a game called Lithium City. It was $1.19.
Oh,
Nice.
But it is like it's kind of a top-down action game. You can think kind of twin stick shooter, but it's got a lot of melee weapons as well.
Mhm.
But the action is so fast, and you can kind of you can pick up like all these different weapons and chuck them at people. The whole time I felt like I was playing the John Wick game that I thought we were gonna get,
Right.
but instead we
Yeah.
got that kind of turn-based tactics game or whatever strategy game,
John Wick
which was
X.
cool, but it was not what I wanted from John Wick as a game. This is closer to that. You play as this set in like a future neon sort of cyberpunk city,
Right.
and it's
Mhm.
all these like super short levels. The whole game is only like 90 minutes long. And it's all just like super short, high action. You're beating the crap out of dudes. You're getting cool weapons. There's like 3 or 4 unique weapons every level, which is
Mhm.
so it's just a constant variety of weapons, which is crazy for a game so short. But they all function differently, and it's really cool. Yeah, you can like throw them at guys and disarm them to fire out, steal their weapon and kind of use it against the other crew. It's just like a really neat game. A very and it's not like super hard either, which was nice because I like. When I saw the trailer, I was like, "Oh, is this gonna be like a kind of a Hotline Miami? Keep trying,
Yeah.
bang your head
Yeah.
against the
Yeah.
wall kind of thing." But it's very survivable. It's got a very forgiving dash move that you can dash through pretty much any attack, and there's no real limit on how many times you can dash in a row. So you can really kind of go around like you're some kind of hyper-powered anime lady.
There's not even like a cooldown at all.
Not that I could detect. I was
Wow.
dashing all the time. I mean, you'll still go down fast if you get shot or something.
Right.
But like it's not like one hit kill like I would have also assumed from kind of a isometric or top down action game. But yeah, it's really cool. If you can get it on sale, highly recommend it because I think normally it's $8, which I think is gonna be
you got it for a
Yeah,
steal then.
yeah.
$1.19.
yeah. Which but I know $8 for a 90-minute game is probably gonna be hard for a lot of people.
Right. Right.
Even though it was like Limbo, right? Was $15 back in the day. It was like 2 hours.
yeah,
So I
Was it that short?
think
It was,
like
yeah.
It was like 2 or 3 hours. Yeah.
yeah.
I love
'Cause
Limbo,
remember-
though. Just the atmosphere of that game was just so good.
No, the game's incredible. But remember, there's an achievement for beating the game in one sitting.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So it's got to be short to make that achievement possible.
That game also has one of my favorite achievements of all time, where when you start the game and if you go to the left of the
Yeah.
first level,
Yeah.
the achievement is called "That's Not Right." I was
Yeah.
like,
That's the first
"Hmm."
achievement I got because I was just like, let me go to the left.
Dude, I do that in every
I do
game.
too.
Of course. You got to see if there's a morph ball over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Who knows how
Exactly.
this game works? And then jump back into Blood West a lot. These are the stealth horror game, and I'm in the second area, which is like a bayou swamps area, and it's a totally different vibe from the first area, which was more of a mining town. This is seems like it's got like some kind of voodoo. It's got like voodoo curses and cults and stuff. And last night I picked up a voodoo doll I found that was whispering to me in the middle of a pentagram, so I'm sure that'll be fine.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, nothing
Totally
can go
safe.
wrong. Yeah,
That's how it usually happens.
but it's just like a totally different atmosphere in the second world. It's really cool. Like there's gator farms and stuff, and all the enemy type. Most of the enemy types are different. I was just surprised to see so much freshness from area to area.
Nice.
And the game does a kind of a clever thing, if you ask me, because by the end of the first area, you feel like you're starting to get pretty powerful. But when you get to the second area, everybody's just a little bit stronger, so you kind of have to lean back into the stealth harder, because while your weapons will do the job, but like say your lever action rifle will kill a guy in one headshot in the first area, it'll probably take 2 headshots in the second area, which is just enough time to alert everyone to where you are.
Yeah.
So you got to go back to being careful and scrapping around for new weapons, and it's a nice way to knock you back down a little bit. So yeah, I'm really digging that
Get
game.
up again.
They're never going to keep me down in the West. Yeah. So that game's incredible, and I'm excited.
Very cool.
I'm excited for some of these Steam games like that.
Yeah. You bought a bunch but haven't played them yet?
Right. Yeah.
I
Well,
did the same thing.
Most excitingly, I finally caved and got No Rest for the Wicked, which I've been wanting to play in early access. This is the new game from the Ori people.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But it was on sale in the summer sale for $30 instead of the normal 40.
Mhm.
And that's the early access price, so presumably it'll probably go up to like 50 or 60 when it comes out.
Yeah.
So it's like $30. But the real kicker, and this was brilliant on their part, was during the summer sale, like, hey, we're putting out a big patch on the 25th. I'll have Steam Deck verification with that patch. So buy it now while it's cheap. And I was like, well, all right, you got me. So I'll be really excited to check that out.
That worked.
Yeah. Oh, and the orange,
I didn't succumb as much.
the orange box was $1.
Wow.
The what was?
The orange box.
Wow.
Half-Life 2 and Portal and everything.
I mean, just Portal alone is worth $1.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, and, it's
Team Fortress.
and because Valve made those games, they're all Steam Deck verified. They made
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's good.
I still have not played Half-Life or Half-Life 2.
I attempted to, but they both made me motion sick, so couldn't.
Half-Life 2 is very good.
I got
Very,
annoyed with
very
Half-Life 1. I played Half-Life 1 on my Steam Deck, and I
Oh,
just
okay.
got tired of doing 3D platforming.
Did you try the Black Mesa remake?
It was, well, it still looked pretty old.
No.
But I think-
There's a fan group that did a remake called Black Mesa.
Mm-hmm.
And then Valve gave them their seal of approval. But it looks more. Does it look modern, or did it look like a PS1?
It still looked like a PS1 game.
Okay, so you're probably playing the original version.
Yeah, I mean, it looked a little bit prettier, but it still looked like the textures looked like big blocks instead of,
Yeah. They did like a more recent remake. Maybe that would be
maybe.
good for you. I don't know.
I just feel like I'm kind of past the stuff they did in that game was so revolutionary at the time.
Yeah.
It just seems like normal now that
Yeah.
so it's not going to wow me as much, but I don't know. The story I've heard is really good too, and Gravity Gun I've heard is awesome, but
I guess it is probably more of the time because it was so crazy that like there's a cutscene happening and I can just walk around during it.
yeah.
That was pretty
exactly.
wild back then. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I had to let you know the orange box $1.
That's over now, right?
Yeah, but this is
Yeah.
my first time getting to participate.
Isn't it fun?
It is. It is
fun.
dangerous.
Yes. Wait,
What was the thing? I think you and I both bought it. There was a deal on, it might have been GOG or something, where you got to pick from 2 titles
Oh, it was
for like $20 or something.
Fanatical.
Was it Fanatical?
Yeah, you picked like two rather big games for like $15. Yeah.
For $15, and one of them was like the entire Star Wars library of games.
Yeah, for
wow.
like 14 Star Wars games for basically $7.50.
Right. And so then I got that, and then I picked up Fallout 4.
Yeah.
For the other. So I got Fallout 4 and all the Star Wars games
Right.
for like $15. And I don't know if I'll play Fallout 4, but that was like right when the show was out.
Yeah.
And I was
so-
like,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm definitely going to play that game. Haven't touched it.
hey man, Fallout 4 on the go. That's pretty crazy to think about.
Yeah, that's something to consider, man.
With the wasteland in your pocket.
I don't know. Can you fit the Steam Deck in your pocket?
Well,
That's
maybe if you had like Jinko jeans.
Yeah, I was gonna say you'd have to have that kind of.
Wait, so Scott, did you get anything exciting? Since, this is our first time.
Nothing majorly exciting. I did pick up Peggle and Peggle Knights, which I mentioned
Oh,
already.
right. Yeah. When I saw you purchase it, my copy bought them.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I actually played through both of them completely. Like,
That's
played through both of the campaigns, which,
Whoa.
that's not that long, but, like...
Oh, we need to be
They're,
Steam friends, Scott. I'm Steam friends with Zack now, so I
Okay.
got to add you too. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. Same username I have for everything, so...
Well, we had to use, like, numbers.
yeah, friend code thing.
Oh, really? Well,
Mhm.
we'll talk afterwards
Yeah.
then,
Okay.
but I'm sure I'm in Zach's list.
Yeah,
You
I
look
could-
at people's friends list?
I don't know, actually.
I don't know. I like the activity wall that they have on Steam, where you can see what your friends have bought and what they're playing and stuff.
Oh, I didn't
I didn't
even
know that existed either. Now
Oh,
I have to
man.
snoop.
You guys got to scroll down further in your Steam Deck.
Yeah, I didn't succumb mostly because I had so much other stuff I should be playing, and I didn't want to potentially distract myself.
Well, that's very responsible.
I know. Me and my ways.
Why you, Alyssa? Did you get anything exciting?
I got several, a lot of smaller games that, are kind of like visual novel games that were
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
$3 or so. My biggest purchases were, I have no reason now. No reason at all. I did buy Doki Doki Literature Club Plus on Steam Deck because it was on sale for $10.
Hell yeah.
And you haven't played it?
No, not yet. I just got it right before the sale ended. So
Yeah, that's a cute little game.
I already know there's gonna be a
Yeah.
twist in it.
Well,
But
the trigger warnings give it away.
excited to finally play that.
That's cool.
And then Paranormicide. I was like, I blanked on the name for a bit. I'd been wanting to get that for a while, and it was always, I think, $40, and it was down to, I think, 11 or 12.
Oh wow,
So
yeah.
I snatched it because I'm like, it's never this low.
Right.
I've heard really good things about it, so I got that. Those are my two biggest purchases. All the others were smaller titles that were $2-3.
Cool. I was just curious. Sorry to derail us.
No, that's fine.
This is an exciting time for me as a
Yeah, Steam sales gaming, so
Steam virgin.
I love how excited you are about the Steam Deck, by the way. Like,
Dude, I love it. I can't. I just I'm not even gonna play anything. I just turn it on just to look at it.
it's such a nice console.
It's a phenomenal piece of tech.
And I think it's very comfortable.
It is.
And all the buttons in the back, I have yet to use them for anything.
I haven't
but it's
either.
just cool that I know they're there.
Yeah. Well, I tried to because some games don't recognize them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is a bummer. But what are you gonna do?
Anyway, Alyssa, what have you been catching up on?
I've only played a couple games. I did play A Short Hike, which is a very short game. It only took me a little over an hour to complete it.
Someone you're like a little bird guy.
Yeah, you're a
Okay.
little. Well, actually, bird girl.
Oh, apologies.
Yeah, her name is
Mi-
Claire.
Misgendered the bird.
I mean, you can't tell she's a girl until in the dialogue where they're just like chirp 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 chirp.
But it really is a short hike.
It is, yeah. She goes to this island because her mom is sick, and she goes to stay with her aunt. And she wants to go to the tallest mountain peak on this island, which is called Hawk Point. Like the bird hawk. But her aunt's like, "Oh, it's just
Not
a short
Hawk Tua.
hike."
I knew it. I
Yeah,
knew you were gonna do it.
Not that one.
God.
That girl's actually coming to my hometown this coming weekend because
That-
we have this huge music festival. That's besides the point.
Do they introduce her as the Hawk Twa girl?
That's what they put on the official, like,
Unbelievable.
along with Jelly Roll and a bunch of other country artists. They're like,
Man.
Haley, whatever her last name is, otherwise known as the Hawk Tua girl.
If I knew referencing fellatio could make you a millionaire, I would have done it a long time ago.
I know.
I mean, Kim Kardashian is a thing.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. That's so boring.
Anyway, we got so far off of a short hike. But it's
How
just
did we
like,
get to
yeah,
Kim Kardashian from a
'cause
short hike?
Hawk Point.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know,
But I mean, it's just it's a relaxing game. It doesn't rush
cozy
you.
game?
Yeah, it is. It doesn't rush you. It's pretty straightforward. You just, there's a trail, one dedicated trail to get to that area, but there are some that branch off and you can meet different people and do side activities. And the side activities for the most part are optional, but you might get a shovel that helps you dig up more coins, or a bucket that you can fill with water that you can pour it on these flowers that allow you to bounce on the flower and go across the island faster than just walking. So it's beneficial to do the optional things, but I didn't do every single one because I couldn't find all the collectibles or whatever. But the whole game is about the journey to top of the mountain peak. And to do that, you do have to get a certain amount of feathers, which increases your stamina, so you have to figure out, how to get feathers. But that's mainly the most difficult thing, and it's not even hard to get feathers. It's just a very chill game. Anyone can play it. Again, it's going to take you like an hour probably, or a little more to finish it.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
it's super short. The music is soothing, adorable graphics. No voice acting, but again, there is a lot of like chirping and other animals, so like cute little beep, beep, boop, boop, boop noises going on. It's a very sweet game, and it's on Game Pass right now too. So if you've got Game Pass, play it for an hour, then take it off your console. Good. But yeah, I needed something calming at that time.
Sure, you needed to rebalance yourself.
Yeah, so played that an hour, and it was very sweet. And I decided I bought this at launch, but I had a coupon, which took off a lot of money. But Alone in the Dark, this year's Alone in the Dark. I finally decided to play it. Well, I'm playing it currently. I'm not finished yet.
I'm curious because I keep hearing mixed reviews about it.
I actually like it a lot. It reminds me of the current, like Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 4 remakes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That kind of vibe. Like, it feels old school and new school at the same time. I'm playing this.
Oh, I was going to ask if you're playing as Jodie Comer or
Yes,
David Harbour.
I'm playing as Jodie Comer this time because I know her uncle is the one they're looking for. So, and plus, I love Jodie Comer. So I'm like, sure. I'm going to play as her first.
Is that Doctor Who?
No, that's Jodie Whittaker. Jodie Comer was in Killing Eve and the Ryan Reynolds movie Free Guy.
And The Last Duel by Ridley Scott.
Yes, The Last Duel, which was an amazing movie.
Yeah, incredible.
I mean, she does fine acting in this. I don't think the script is really, up to the caliber of her acting. But I mean, she does a good job for what it's worth.
So it's probably appropriate for David Harbour's caliber.
I'm sure. I mean, he's not as good as an actor as Jodie Comer. I have to admit that.
He is not.
But I mean, I like it. I mean, it doesn't hold your hand. You're just going around this mansion that has been turned into a mental institution, and you're really given not much of a guide. It just tells you objectives, like you need to go to the kitchen, but the kitchen's locked, so how do you get there? You need to find, obviously, the key, but where's the key at? So you have to look throughout the whole place. You come across enemies at certain points, which on normal, they take like 7 to 8 bullets to kill. I'm sure on easy, it'd be easier.
Mm-hmm.
But still not that difficult, and I love the fact that to heal yourself, you have to drink a whole bottle of booze.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah.
You can carry 5 bottles on you on normal. But I'm just like,
wow.
Oh yeah, let me just get all these whiskey bottles.
Could you imagine carrying around 5 bottles
I don't know where she's
liquor?
putting the bottles either, because she doesn't have a purse.
Well, she got that big coat on.
The coat's not even big, it's just a blazer.
Oh.
And she's got a long skirt, but there's no pockets in the skirt. It's not the age of skirts with pockets. So I'm like, where are all these bottles going?
Stashing them in her leggings.
Maybe, I don't know.
If you heal a bunch in a row, do you get drunk?
No.
Oh, wow, she's got tolerance.
But it won't let you heal if you're already fully healed. So one bottle heals you all the way to the top. So
gotcha.
It's pretty generous with the healing, and you do get like 27 bullets for your pistol, I think is the maximum. But again, like you can find bullets all over the place. So it's not difficult combat wise, at least not yet. And I think I'm about 3 hours in. I think I read that each character is only 6 hours long, their playthroughs. So I guess I'm about halfway through her playthrough, and it's not that difficult. The hardest things are like, the puzzles that you have to find and solve, and finding objects. That's far more difficult than the combat is. But
should I play this one, or is this one is it worth the price tag on it, I guess?
Well, now it's cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
I would say if you like the Resident Evil 2 remake, Resident Evil 4 remake, and it's, $20-$30, get it. Cause
I should just go play Resident Evil 4 remake, really, is what I should do.
Well, I mean, that is the superior game, I will say, but I mean, I'm liking this a lot, more than I thought I would, and I got it for $20 at launch. So,
Nice.
definitely worth 20. I don't know if it'd be worth the 70 it was at launch, but it's definitely worth at least 20, 30.
Mhm.
I'm having a good time. I mean, it could go downhill in the second half, but I'm having a good time, and if I like it, I'll probably play David Harbour's campaign too, because you're supposed to play both. But
I'm sure there's some kind of inevitable secret ending or something.
oh,
do
like
both.
you find collectibles in this, and it'll say, "Oh, by the way, you can't find all the collectibles in this playthrough. You need to play as Detective Carnby, which is David Harbour's character, to get every single collectible." So
That's
it tells you
maddening.
in the game, like you can't find all the collectibles just in this playthrough.
Incentive for replayability.
Yep, the game's
Thing
even
we
telling
yearned
you.
for when I was younger, and now I despise in my older years.
Yeah.
I guess I feel like I would just view that game as one 12-hour game that you just
Yeah.
have to do both campaigns.
Yeah.
Could just do the Alan Wake 2 thing and just have them run simultaneously.
I don't know, man. I felt so much pressure about one to play as the other.
I know.
That's true. That was stressful. Like,
It
'cause I
was.
wanted to play the one,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to play the other, but I felt like I should.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, well, I'm going to get all of these missions out of the way and then just enjoy the game the way I want to. And then I felt like, am I here? I don't know.
Yeah.
It
Don't
was-
don't put that weight on me, Remedy.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
You tell me when to play.
Yeah. As for me, I took your advice, Zach, and I went to the community setups in the Steam Deck and finally was able to make gun work on my Steam Deck.
Yay.
Oh yeah.
Which is awesome, except for the fact that you basically have to memorize what buttons do what because the prompts that they give you are clearly for PC. Like press Q to duck or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of maddening, but once you wrap your head around it and figure out what you got to do, it's like getting back in the saddle. That game is so shockingly I'm surprised at how well that game controls for how old it is. Like it just feels right.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, except for some of the controls are wacky. I remember I think to reload you click in the left stick. Right? Which is pretty weird.
I don't remember. To reload you? No, I just been reloading with the X. Like I don't know if it's X on a Steam Deck. I can never remember.
Okay.
But there's something with the stick that I think it was the sprint is on the Steam Deck is the stick.
Yeah.
Left stick. But
All right.
anyway, I forgot how just fun that game is, and it's very linear at the beginning too. Like I feel like it went to open world a lot sooner than it did. Like, also that game could not be made today.
No. You
Holy cow!
They're not gonna
Like
They're not gonna let you scalp Indians in a video game today.
No.
Like you're just straight up like defend the Chinamen from the
Apaches,
natives.
Yeah.
Like it's just like holy
Yeah.
cow, and you're
Hey,
just like
like-
taking out.
2005
Yeah.
wasn't that long ago.
I know it feels like it. But
I think
Apparently
you're playing
was.
with a different. I only played a few minutes, but it was like the Xbox controls
Okay,
translated. But maybe somebody modernized them that you found, which is probably wise.
it's been forever. I don't remember what the controls were, but that game continues to be fun, and even the cutscenes. I was expecting them to look a lot worse than they do, like because it's original Xbox, right? And Xbox 360, I guess.
Yeah, original Xbox would be probably the primary platforms, right? PS2, and all
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
But,
especially coming from Neversoft, right? You know, they just make Tony Hawk games, and then they just knocked out a cool, very cinematic Western in the middle of all that.
It's just so easy to get into. It's not like overly difficult. It's pretty generous with that quick draw mechanic or whatever it
Yeah.
is, where you can like slow motion and then just tab over to them. It just feels good.
Well, it's kind of fun because it flips it to first person real quick when you go into quick draw.
yeah.
It's fun. Yeah, Chris
At,
Christopherson yelling at you.
at the beginning, yep.
Yeah.
It's a fun game, but
Oh, yeah,
had
you're-
fun, had a good time jumping back into that.
You think
Also,
you think you're gonna keep playing it?
I think so. I mean, I got a plane ride coming up here, so
Yeah. It's only
we'll have some time to kill.
it's a really short game, so
Well, I remember it being longer when I was younger because I did everything. I got
Yeah.
all the achievements on that game. Like I found every gold mine thing, every side mission. You know, I did everything, and I get just because it was so easy. Like it was fun to do. Like that was one of the rare instances where I really enjoyed doing everything in a game. And the horse mechanics are perfect.
Oh yeah,
That is the first game I remember where it felt right to control a horse. Just thought it was good. So.
yeah. You're inspiring me. I got to go back through Gun.
Oh, it's good. I also picked up a game called Another Bar Game. This is a game that Spencer reviewed for us.
I was gonna say
a
that
long
sounded
time ago.
familiar to me.
Yeah. And the developer contacted me and said, "Hey, would you mind doing a Steam review for me?" Because he said it's selling really well on Switch, but nobody's buying it on Steam. And he said he's been trying to harvest some Steam reviews, and I wasn't going to ask him for another review copy, so I went and bought it. It was like $3 or $4, right? And I didn't even remember what this game was from when Spencer reviewed it, but started it up, and it's basically one of those like restaurant simulators where you have to serve people food. You know what I mean? Like they take it, they make an order, and then you have to go get it, and then you have to bring it to them. But in this case, it's all beer.
Like Diner Dash?
Yeah, like a Diner Dash type of game. And it starts out really simple. You've got like one type of beer, and you just have to serve the customers and clean up after them and bring the glasses back to the dishwasher, and at some point run the dishwasher to get you more glasses. And then as you progress, more beers unlock, and things get a little more complicated. I hit a wall at the third bar that you work in. It's a level where there's a musician that's playing, and the musician also needs to be supplied in beer, otherwise he stops playing music. So it gets really, really hairy. But the game has a leveling system where, once you reach a certain level, you can increase the speed that you walk, or then increase the speed at which you pour beer, things like that. So you can actually make things easier the more and more you play. So I just need to put some more time into it. But if you like that style of game, this one is really well done. It's got a good quirky sense of humor, and recommend Another Bar Game. The dude that makes it, his name is Eric. He's really nice. I've been chatting with him quite a bit. So good dude. He's working on another game that has to do with music, like bands performing live.
Cool.
So
Do you find yourself being judgmental of the beer the customers are ordering?
well, you get to choose what's on the menu.
Okay.
And they're almost comical. Like, they'll have IPAs and lagers and things like that, but then they'll all be like weird things that you would never expect to be in beers. Like I can't think of a specific one off the top of my head, but
like a shoelace? That'd be pretty weird to find
like
in a beer.
Skunk scent mixed with anise or something. You know what I mean? Like it's like all these weird goofy flavors, and you get to pick which one goes on the menu. So I just try to pick the one that's the least weird to go on the menu, and then a little speech bubble will pop up, and someone will, "Can I get that skunk beer?" or whatever it is. And it's fun. It's maddening how short patience some of the patrons have, but because it's hard to memorize like who has taken an order, who's not. But they got a little smiley face over them that helps. But I guess I get a little stressed out. I just need to level up. So Another Bar Game. And lastly, just real quick, I succumbed to a Target sale. They were selling Switch games for really cheap, and I've always wanted to play it because I hear fantastic things about it. I picked up Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which was originally a Wii U game that got ported to Switch. It's supposed to be like just this incredible platformer, and so I picked it up. And it's Donkey Kong Country. How do you describe a Donkey Kong Country game? Because the game works fine, but the platforming just doesn't feel as tight as a Mario game. Is it because you're controlling this giant ape instead of, a dude? I don't know what it is, but it's like I never know where the platforms are.
Well, if it felt the same as Mario, then what would be the point of Donkey Kong?
Yeah, that's true. So I'm struggling to get into it as much because it doesn't feel like the way I want it to, but man, is this a gorgeous looking little game. Like, when they do the infamous barrel sections where like you go in a barrel and it shoots you around?
Of course.
In the old games, it bounces those up, like just up on the side. This one actually like kind of goes into the environment.
Yeah.
And then it will shoot back out at you, and it just looks really cool. So I hear it gets really, really difficult, and I like difficult platformers, so I'm looking forward to diving into that one a bit more. So Donkey Kong
Are you trying to get all the KONGs in every level?
Dude, that's what's frustrating is like the first level, I got all the Kong letters, but I missed like a couple of the balloons, or I can't remember what else there are that you got to collect. And I was like, I don't want to go through that level again. I just want to go see what's in the next level. And I'm fighting with myself as to what I'm going to do there, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, let's go ahead now and jump into the week's news. Before we get in the news, I want to talk to you guys again about eWin Racing. eWin Racing is the company that designed this very chair that I am sitting in right now. Genuinely the most comfortable gaming chair I've ever had.
They are the reason your butt is comfortable.
They are the reason my butt is comfortable. And very sturdy, built for bigger fellas. They'll size you up, get your weight and your height, and get you one that fits your size. And they're great. We actually gave one away at R2V2 last year. We had multiple people purchase them from our community, and they say that they are enjoying them just as much as I am. Give them a shot, excuse me. And if you'd like to give it a try, you can get 25% off your first order using promo code TGO at discount at checkout. Get you 25% off. The website is ewinracing.com, and we would appreciate the support. Moving on, got a couple new trailers to talk about. This game called The Smiling Man randomly dropped a weird teaser on YouTube. Also, we got a trailer for the Karate Kid Street Rumble coming on September 20th to Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and PC. In news, Game Pass is finally increasing. I'm sure we'll talk about that. Double Dragon Revive brings back the series in 3D. And the Switch is now Nintendo's longest-running console. That's what I got for news this week. Alyssa, where would you like to start?
I'm just going to get the big news story out of the way with Game Pass.
All right.
Price is finally increasing, and this price hike will start September 12th of this year. And it's quite complicated with the different tiers. You want to go through? Do we want to go through all the tiers and explain? Or
well, I don't want to go through everything.
Yeah.
We've got basically 5 different tiers. I mean, the one that I feel like people are going to be most interested in is the Ultimate.
yeah, the $20 a month one.
You know, it's because it was $15 before. It's just it's bumping up $5. That's going to have everything: the full library, EA Play, PC Game Pass, day one titles, online multiplayer, all that stuff. And then they kind of let you. I'm not going to say piecemeal.
Yeah.
But you know, they have all these other options available for you, many of which don't have the day one titles, which is the thing that's getting everybody's feathers ruffled a bit.
Well, not many of them, right? Just 2 of them?
Just 2 of them?
Yeah, 2 tiers are the only ones you get day one titles. If you're an existing Game Pass subscriber, you can get the Xbox Game Pass console tier for $11 a month, and you do get day one titles, but you have a limited library of Xbox games available on Game Pass, though.
But you do get day one titles.
Yes.
Right.
So you're substituting some of the catalog for the day one titles in that tier.
Right.
And that's
so
only
if you
for
are already a
existing
subscriber,
yeah.
As long as you keep that subscription going, you'll still get the day one titles for $11 a month.
So you're sort of grandfathered in that way.
Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And yeah, PC Game Pass, $12, and we'll have day one titles, but only the PC ones.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, but any Xbox Game Pass game is also on PC.
Is that true?
Yes, every
I think so,
Xbox console game is on PC.
Oh.
So
I guess I didn't understand that. So that seems like a steal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it seems like kind of a slap in the face if you bought an Xbox, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's a dickhead move from Xbox. I'm not gonna lie. Because you're telling them like PC gamers are far more valuable to us than Xbox gamers, despite the fact that Xbox gamers bought into your console ecosystem.
Right.
I think that sucks. Straight up.
I didn't look at it from that angle.
I didn't either.
Kind of right. I just looked at this at the $19.99 a month for Ultimate because I'm a typical American. I looked at what impacts me the most.
Yeah.
And that's it. And yeah, I mean, an extra $5.
But also,
to me, that seems more than worth it.
That's the only tier that has cloud gaming. Also, the $20 a month tier.
Yeah, how many people are using that?
I don't know.
What do you think? I mean, it is nice because it enables you, if you're still on an Xbox One, you can still play Series X and S games through streaming. That's kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many people are using it. I'm
I
sure.
don't think I've ever used cloud gaming, but I've heard of some people playing on it.
I used it
before.
exactly once. Played Tunic for a little bit, and it worked fine.
Yeah, just say I did some of those PS3 streaming on PS4 games, and those are fine.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so it is what it is. Yeah, I think a $5 increase is fair for the value you get.
Mhm.
I think removing day one games from certain tiers is the way where you don't give Call of Duty to everybody, right? I think that's the only reason that exists.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
But I do think you can no longer say day one on Game Pass. Right, in all of your marketing, because then that's a lie.
I mean, you could only say it day one on Game Pass Ultimate.
Right? Yeah. That's
GPU.
It ruins their smart, efficient, kind of catchy marketing beat there. Because you have to say Ultimate, or else because otherwise you're at risk for being sued for false advertising, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You say day one with Game Pass and it's not. Yeah, I think that sucks. It also is really funny, because of how many years straight have they been like, our games, we believe in our games on day one on Game Pass. But no, you don't. Not anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that all sucks. The price raise, that's a no-brainer to me. Right?
And see, that's what I thought everybody was mad about at
Yeah.
first. Like if anybody was shocked by an increase in Game Pass,
right?
You haven't been paying attention, right? Like it was kind of inevitable.
Yeah, it felt inevitable before they paid $70 billion for Activision, but after that, it was guaranteed.
Right. There's no way it wasn't going to increase,
and they,
especially with Call of Duty coming.
Exactly, there was no way it wasn't going to increase before Call of Duty either.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think some of this stuff sucks. I really like the PC Game Pass one is really the craziest to me because it's an $8 difference of essentially the same value as the Game Pass Ultimate tier. But yeah, it's $8 cheaper. It just really does feel like you're like, hey, our most dedicated fans kind of don't matter to us as much as the PC players, which is
that's a bigger base. I mean, like there's
yes, no doubt significantly, but it is.
Yeah.
You would think you would price it in the reverse or something, or wouldn't you want to give you? It reminds me, it's like of phone plans where they're like, hey, introductory offer is $50, but if you actually are loyal to us, it's going to cost you more.
That always bugged me.
It doesn't.
I mean, it's same thing with like the internet. Like if you call up and
that's why
you're a first time subscriber for Comcast or whatever, and Xfinity.
That's why I've never kept the same internet company for more than 2 years, because you just go to the other one, you get the cheaper price, and then when that runs out, you go to the other one, get the cheaper price again. It doesn't make it's nonsense. Are they just banking on the fact that people hate inconvenience?
Probably.
Yeah.
It's nonsense.
And most people stick to one brand once they know it. So.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, my ultimate takeaway is I think Game Pass is a hell of a deal at $20 still.
Yeah.
And $5 increase I think is fair for what they're offering, as long as they actually start putting out some of these games that they keep marketing.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the kicker. Yeah.
But I mean, genuinely, if I weren't doing a podcast and I didn't have every console, you know what I mean? Like if I weren't like constantly trying to play something new, I would just live on $20 a month and not even worry about what other new stuff is coming out.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a ton of games on Game Pass.
There's always something to play, and including big titles. I probably would still have, a PlayStation to be able to play the PlayStation exclusives. Because let's be honest, those games are exclusives are solid.
Or that Zelda series you seem fond of.
Man,
you'd have to have a Switch because you gotta have your Zelda machine.
A little Metroid action, probably.
Oh my goodness!
Mario.
Yeah, guys are just shooting holes in my argument. Forget I said anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like a subscription for $20 a month to get the majority of the good games out there.
Right.
I mean, that's what they want, right? Microsoft wants people to say exactly what I just said.
Yeah, I think if I didn't have, I would probably just subscribe when a new game came out personally. If I didn't have this podcast, probably. But just subscribe when an exclusive is out that I want to play, and then dip back out. But it's a nice resource to have if you are trying to play new things.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, like you can do it with Ubisoft, right?
Right. That's how I'm going to play Star Wars Outlaws.
I mean, they had a deal where you could get like a year of Ubisoft for like, I can't remember what the deal was, but I was like seriously considering it just to do Outlaws and whatever Assassin's Creed. You know what I mean? Like just pay for that subscription and pay the $20 and call it a day.
Yeah, why wouldn't?
As long as you just remember to shut it off.
Just say, yeah, it's nice to not. I don't like the time pressure, right? That's why I wouldn't ever subscribe to PlayStation Plus Extra, because I feel like I got enough to play on PlayStation, and I don't want the pressure of feeling like I need to use my subscription to make it worth the value.
Yeah.
So, but Ubisoft Plus that's just going to be a clear cut case of I'm going to subscribe when Outlaws comes out. I'm just going to beat the hell out of Outlaws and then just dip out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter how long it takes.
Yeah.
Right.
As long as it's under $70.
Yeah, I was going to say, even if you take 2 months, you're still getting a half price, basically.
Yeah. Totally.
And
so this is a pretty huge news, but I think we all expected it.
Yeah, I don't see how you didn't see this one coming.
And there is also a little bit of a side note they also included with this. Starting September 12th, you can only stack Game Pass for up to 13 months. But if you already have more than 13 months stacked already, it will not be affected. That's just a little side thing.
So what that means is if you find like a deal on a month of Game Pass somewhere, and you just add it to there, you just buy it when it's cheap.
You can only do it 13 times.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Well, it feels a little like the Netflix password move, where you do this just to cover your base on keeping as many subscribers. Because there was like they would have deals where it was like a month for Game Pass, and people would just buy 5 years worth or whatever.
Yeah,
like, why wouldn't you? So I can see why they would need to crack down on that.
So yeah, good call.
I guess. I don't know. Yeah, the whole it is needlessly complicated, but this is a company that has consoles called the Xbox One X, Series X, One S, Series S.
Yeah.
They seem to revel in confusing the marketplace for some reason.
Yeah, they went from 360 to the One, so
Sony's really the only one that's doing it right. Right? Like PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not doing anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's some pros in there here and there.
No, I mean theirs is also kind of confusing. Well, they're different, like extra and premium tiers. I don't know. It's all goofy. It's all goofy over there too. Essential, extra, premium. These companies don't know what they're doing. Why even have the Game Pass Core though for the $10 a month?
I was actually going to ask that. Like, who is that for?
I mean, you only get around about 25 Xbox Game Pass games, online multiplayer, and then the member deals and discounts.
I guess because if you're not already a subscriber, it's a whole $5 to bump up. I guess that's why it's there. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but if you're a person that is only on there to play online multiplayer games, you're gonna play Call of Duty.
Right. Yeah. So why not just jump it up and not have to buy Call of Duty? And you get Indiana Jones and Fable along with it or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. It's definitely a little weird.
Anyway, let's move on. Zach, is there a story on here you'd like to talk about?
Well, there's nothing nearly as exciting as that.
No,
I'm sorry.
No.
I do think it's how many freaking Karate Kid games can they make? Is this like the third Karate Kid game?
I don't remember the last one.
Because there's Cobra Kai. There's Cobra Kai. They made 2 Cobra Kai games.
Oh yeah, the Cobra Kai games.
Well, this one goes back to the original movies though,
right.
Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3, like young Daniel-san.
It's still in the karate franchise. It's still the third game or whatever. But I don't care about that. Jude, shout out to the Switch, man. This is a console that doesn't give up. I wonder if do you think they'll pass the PS2 to be the best selling console ever?
I don't know what the numbers are. How close are they?
Well, it's 141 Switches have been sold. Isn't it like 160 PS2s? 160 million?
That sounds correct, but I don't know.
I didn't realize the PS2 sold that well.
It was a lot.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it was a DVD player, remember? It was the cheapest DVD player in the market.
That's what my family had. We didn't have a DVD player. We had a PlayStation 2.
Well, of course not. Yeah, because they could afford to be a loss leader. A DVD manufacturer is not making a cut on every DVD sold.
Right.
But PS2 can afford to sell it at a loss because, you'll buy a game eventually. Even if you bought it for a DVD player, you're eventually going to be like, oh, what the hell? I guess I could use a Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just,
And then you get that first taste, and it's all downhill from there.
Yeah.
Right. Then you can't stop until you play Summoner 2.
So the previous record for the longest running Nintendo console was the NES, which was on the market for 2,686 days. And as of today's recording, the Switch has been on the market for 2,690 days. And again, we have no idea what the successor to the Switch is at this point. But Nintendo has promised that they will tell us something by, March 31st of next year?
Yep.
and that they're still going to sell by then. So,
Do you think every nerd? Well, and they'll sell for years afterwards because you do a price cut on the regular Switch, right? And then you continue to sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay, so so the PS2 has allegedly, according to Jim Ryan, sold 160 million copies or units. So that's
still a long ways to go for the tail end of a market.
I don't know, man. I think they can do it.
I mean, they did just release a special edition Hyrule one.
You're right. That's all they need to do. Just knock out a few more special editions.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the answer is yes.
Of course.
You got one?
I did pre-order one.
Well, yeah, they just need to do a Metroid Prime 4 Switch. Do one for the Metroid Prime trilogy beforehand. Now you got 2 sales of every Metroid.
Oh my goodness, dude! I don't need a Metroid Switch. Yeah, I do. No, I don't. I don't need a Metroid Switch, but it would work. I really hope they release like the trilogy.
Yeah, they should.
Or like the second and third game. Like that. Just why not?
Yeah.
Well,
I believe in the Switch. I think it can beat the PS2.
I have a theory, by the way, about the Switch successor.
Is it a game theory?
No. I am going to predict that the Switch 2 or whatever it's going to be called is not going to be backwards compatible.
Wow.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Do tell.
Because Nintendo games never or hardly ever go on sale, correct?
Correct.
They're always like, they have been going on sale like crazy the last couple months. Tropical Freeze, normally like a $60 game, I got for $35, almost half the price,
right?
Which is normally unheard of, right? And that's been happening a lot. That wasn't the only game that went on sale. In fact, there's a bunch of others, and it keeps happening. So I think that this is a last-ditch effort by Nintendo. Well, I guess it's the retailers that are setting those prices, probably, right? I don't know how that works in retail.
Yeah,
but I think they're like trying to get rid of that, get that last surge before they make the announcement. And then, oh yeah, by the way, all those games you got, you're going to need to hang out of your old Switches for that.
That would be suicidal, I think.
I wouldn't, though.
Well, especially like your digital purchases need to be backwards compatible, at least.
Yeah.
Right, or maybe not.
So,
I get.
but...
What am I thinking? This is Nintendo. They can do whatever they want, and fans will eat it up.
That's what I'm saying.
So never mind. You're right. It's not. I'm thinking if they were a normal company held to normal standards, but this is Nintendo, and they are bulletproof.
Yeah.
They would absolutely be like, no Nintendo Switch Online's coming forward. No digital purchases. You got to hold on to your Switch if you want to play your old games. And everyone would be like, great. When can I pre-order the Switch 2?
Exactly.
And they'll be like, guess what? These games are now available on the Switch 2 for $70.
Right, yeah. We're re-releasing Luigi Mansion 2 HD for $70. And
or you could like pay $10 to be able to unlock that version, the Switch 2 version.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But why would they do that when Alyssa's white, or Alyssa White is right? When they could absolutely just be like, hey, that Skyward Sword HD we did on Switch? Well, here it is on Switch 2, $60. Buy it or don't. And people will be like, yeah, I'll buy it.
Because they will.
You're absolutely right. But do you think every nerd's dream of it being called the Super Switch will be realized?
I think it'll be called the Nintendo Snap.
I still hope it's the Switch.
The Switch? Could I have a Switch, please?
Snap into your games.
Well, they're talking about those magnetic controllers. I just feel like
if the rumors are correct.
Yeah. That would just be on brand with the Switch has been like a click it into place sound. Like whenever you see a Switch trailer.
Yeah, it's that satisfying little click.
Snap.
Yeah. Okay, you make an interesting point.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that's my full-on prediction, but I might as well.
Yeah,
say it. We call it the Nintendo Snap.
Then they can keep
Pokemon
doing the snap. Keep doing
and
the
then
snap
they can,
noise.
And then they could re-release Pokemon Snap on the Nintendo Snap.
They can call it Pokemon Snap Squared.
Snap Squared. There you go.
Snap.
Snap it up.
You guys want to play Double Dragon again?
No. I've never played it. So.
No. Double Dragon was a staple when I was a kid.
Sure.
I don't know about 3D models in a 2D brawler. Okay.
It's
pretty. Yeah, that's not like it's unheard of or anything.
No, it's just it's the first time for a Double Dragon game. Double Dragon has always been just straight up 2D. And there's no confirmation if it's like a new game or if they're just recreating one of the originals, which to beat 'em up. Like I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so dismissive of the genre, but like
it doesn't matter if it's a remake or not.
Has there ever been a remake of a beat 'em up? Like, I remember this level.
I'm sure.
The one where I beat up the guys.
Yeah. I bet I beat them all up.
So I don't know. I still like the kid inside me still kind of percolates a little bit whenever I hear Double Dragon, just because I have such good memories of that game when I was a kid. Which is funny because I play it now and I'm done with it in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It gets old very quickly, but as a kid, that was the coolest thing ever. You know, just can't let that go.
Bored to tears when I played Double Dragon. So,
oh really?
Nothing for me. I enjoy that when you get to the end, you have to fight your friend for the girl.
Yeah,
that's fun. I thought you were just gonna say I like that when you get to the end, it's the end.
It's finally over. No, Castle Crashers did the same. That was the only thing that was interesting about Castle Crashers, having to murder your friend so you get the princess.
Oh, that was like at the end of. I had that happen when I played last week, but it was just like the first world. It wasn't like the full end of the game. It was like at the end of each.
I think they do it every
boss
world
fight
in Castle Crashers.
Cool.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because you still have to play Castle Crashers to get there, so it's not really worth it.
Castle Crash.
Yeah, you used to be
world I played.
I was gonna say you used to be on my side.
I did.
He played with a child then.
Yeah, that helped.
Yeah, I'm sure I would.
A kid.
Yeah, maybe if I played with my niece or something, I would have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seeing a kid's reaction when a deer just projectile poops kind of makes it worth it.
Dude, gross out humor is so big with the young folks. You see all those poo toys in the stores.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
So they're into that stuff. These foul degenerates that we're raising.
Well, let's go ahead and move on. Before we get to the new games we've been playing, I want to remind everybody about Patreon. If you like this show and would like to help support us, you can do so at patreon.com/thegocast. Even as little as $1 a month will get you the episode a day earlier than everybody else. Higher tiers will get you bonus episodes. Most recently, Kevin and I did a live music discussion. We talked about going to concerts, which, by the way, I went to a concert with him this past week, and boy, was that interesting. I wish I could I want to do another episode and just talk about all the concert stories that I did not get to, including this past weekend.
Interesting. You guys should have me on so I can tell you about my 2 concert experiences.
I've only had
you should do it, man.
I had one. I am severely lacking.
I want to hear how everybody feels about that because, we are a video game podcast and Patreon, we don't always talk about video game stuff. And I just want to know if people found that interesting because I had a lot of fun recording it. And if you haven't heard the story I told of what happened to Kevin and I at the Iron Maiden concert, you will want to listen to that episode. Let me tell you.
I better listen to it.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, it is something that if anybody else has ever had that happen to them at a concert, I would like to know about it because I am still in shock as to what happened at that concert. But also, Zack, Alyssa, and I did our Peace of Mind episode where we each brought a topic to the table. We're going to do another one of those so I can do my topic that we didn't get to last time.
Yeah.
And at some point, Kevin and I are going to do a trade-off episode for Paper Mario and Evolution, the World of Sacred Device, but I cannot get my Dreamcast, or rather CB's Dreamcast, to work on TV, so I have not been able to dive into that game yet. So I got to figure out how to play that game, but we're going to do that as soon as possible. CB's also got something cooked up. He's been collecting laser discs.
Oh, yeah.
And he found these old... Laserdisc murder mystery games.
Oh,
where it's like actual actors that like you pick a choice from the menu and it's got like 16 different endings.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that played the principal in Don't You?
Oh, the Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club. Yeah, he's one of the actors in it.
Did you mess with the bull?
I got the horns.
Oh boy, it's rough.
But he wants to play those and do an episode on that somehow. I don't know how that's going to work, but But if you're not a current subscriber, if you sign up now, you get access to our entire catalog. There is, like, seriously, there's got to be over 100, 150 episodes of Patreon content we've done over the years, and you have access to all of it right now. And I've got it all cataloged on our website. There's a link for that in the show notes as well. We'd love it if you checked it out. Again, patreon.com/thegocast. And now, let's jump into the new games that we've been playing. All right, Zack, what is coming out that people can check out?
College football makes its big return with EA Sports College Football 25 coming to PS5 and Xbox Series consoles July 19th.
It'll be huge.
I assume that game is going to be a monster hit.
Yeah.
Just astronomically large. Because especially in the social media age,
Mhm.
there's going to be more fans than ever. Capcom's new tower defense action hybrid, Kunitsu Gami Path of the Goddess, comes to PS5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC July 19th. Live your painterly studio dreams with Yetee on PC July 23rd. F1 Manager 2024 is exactly what it sounds like, coming to PS5, PS4, Xbox Series consoles, Xbox One, and PC July 23rd. The star-named EOS adventure narrative game coming to PS5, Xbox Series consoles, Switch, and PC July 23rd. Conscript is a World War I survival horror game coming to all consoles and PC July 23rd. Retro Revengers is a game, comedy action platformer where it seems like you're tasked with gatekeeping retro video games from the terrible mainstream kids. That's coming to all consoles that's coming to PS5, PS4, Xbox Series consoles, Xbox One July 23rd. Arranger, a role-puzzling adventure, is an RPG focused on puzzles. Coming to PS5, Switch, PC, and Mac July 25th. Earth Defense Force 6 comes to PS5, PS4, and PC July 25th, the original bug hunting video game. And then Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus gets ported over to Switch July 25th. Scott, is there a game on this list that's exciting for you?
There are 4.
Wow, that's a lot.
There are 4 games on this list. So you're going to make me pick one?
I want to hear all 4. Is Arranger intriguing to you?
Arranger is probably the top one that intrigues me.
Yeah, I definitely thought of you.
I keep hearing good things about that game, and this is the first time I actually saw it in motion. It's like sliding puzzles, but that's how you move your character. And when you slide, everything on your track slides with you and affects the environment in some way. It's just what a clever concept.
Yes, it seemed like it's a genuinely new idea.
Yeah, which I feel like we don't get a lot of those anymore, and it looks charming as hell. So, that's top of my list. But Conscript also looks super interesting.
Yeah.
It looks like an old school, not quite Nintendo graphics, but it reminds me of how Metal Gear played, like the original Metal Gear.
Okay, the top-down perspective.
Yeah, and like the movement kind of looks that way, but obviously it's got a lot more going on. And like, I mean, I understand there's a lot of World War I games, but I feel like most World War I games are either first-person shooters or side-scrolling shooters.
Yeah,
this is like whole perspective thing. This is kind of cool.
What's interesting about it is it doesn't necessarily look. I'm sure there is supernatural, but it also just kind of looks like just the horror of the trenches.
Yeah.
You don't need to lean into big monsters. There's enough horror in just World War I trenches already.
And the trailer is pretty haunting. There's like this dude reciting a poem.
Yeah.
Like Rendezvous with Death or something like that.
Yeah,
and
this is
it
great.
makes it look really ominous. And man, there's just something about that game that looks really cool. And Retro Revengers just looks super fun to me, man. I don't know. It looks silly and quirky, but it looks like there's a lot of depth to it and satisfying boss battles.
It just looks like some silly good fun for sure.
And Earth Defense Force, I feel like those games haven't been great since the first one.
You're chasing the dragon.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And if there's multiplayer in that might be one oh no, it's on PS5. I could play it on PS5. But I probably won't get that one on there, but I feel like Arranger is going to happen for sure. So out of that list, Arranger is my number one. But I was shocked at how many were on this list. Again, there's no games coming out.
Yeah. What about you, Alyssa? What's calling your name?
Just one. The star named EOS. Yeah. Mostly drawn because it's described as a story-rich narrative adventure game with some puzzles. I noticed in the trailer there's a lot of photography going on. Puzzles, I'm not the greatest at, but you know what? I will go through the puzzles for this game because I feel like this game's gonna be something that's right up my alley.
Yeah.
So I'll become smarter just all these puzzles.
Or at least a photographer.
I do like taking photographs in games.
Yeah. As for me, there's 2. Kunitsugami, I think, looks really cool. I've always been partial to tower defense games. I think they're fun. There's something so satisfying about setting everything up right, and you just kind of get to sit back. Mm-hmm. It's very satisfying. This one with the kind of action game angle, it almost looks like some Onimusha combat in there as well, is enough of a twist where you're like, I want to check this out for sure. It just looks cool, and it's nice to see Capcom taking a chance on such a new kind of idea.
Lots of Naruto running in that game, in that trailer.
Well, you can't. Not everything can be.
Aura's back.
Well, you're more aerodynamic that way.
They actually came out like with a scientific study saying don't run like that because it could cause damage.
It doesn't make any sense.
And I'm like, they did a legitimate scientific study about people running like that.
Absolutely. They want to see if the nine-tailed demon fox was worth having or not. Yeah, I think Inuyasha looks really cool, but for me, the game stands out the most is easily conscript. I think it looks incredible. There's something about leading into the absolute horror of World War I trenches for an entire survival horror game that just makes a lot of sense to me.
Where you're not just mowing down stuff; you're actually having to plot and be methodical.
It looks like something very, very unique and interesting. I'm very excited about that. So there's definitely some new ideas, lots of interesting games. Yeah, but it's a shame that nothing's going out.
Oh yeah, total shame.
That is what it is. Scott, speaking of new stuff, you've been playing, was this Galactic Glitch?
Yes.
Some nice alliteration to the title there. What are we excited to check this game out, or?
I was. I mean, you know me. I like my run-based randomizers.
There you go.
And this one, I got contacted about this one. They just sent me the demo for it. So I've only played the demo so far. And I like this game so much. And I've never been so disappointed when I get a message that says you've completed the demo. Because I was having so much fun. So I was really disappointed.
It's almost like it's like kind of twin stick shooter presenting, but it seems like it leans a lot into physics, right?
Yeah, there's a little bit of physics going on with it, because there's a lot of enemies you have to get behind, and there's a lot of like explosions cause enemies to either be damaged or get pushed away from you. Honestly, it's got a lot of Hades-ness to it in terms of how you progress through the map. Don't get too excited, not in a story way. You're not coming back and talking to other spaceships and having these deep conversations. No.
Wouldn't that be cool?
But in terms of like, branching pathways, like you don't always have two choices. You often have two choices, but unlike Hades, you can actually backtrack and go back and navigate all you want to. So if there's a shop that you couldn't afford to buy that item, and then you collected enough resources to go back, you could go back and buy it. But yeah, so imagine like a twin stick. I guess Hades kind of is twin stick, but
no, not really.
Yeah, it's not a shooter.
Yeah,
it's like, I play as the range character, the range weapon.
We'll say, but it also like it has such generous aiming for you in Hades, So it doesn't feel like a twin stick to me.
There you go. This one does feel more like it, but it's a really cool aesthetic because each arena, if you will, feels like a bubble in space. Like the outside edges are spongy, like you can actually bounce off of them and come back. And then whenever you finish all the enemies on that screen, it just kind of like this tunnel to the next space bubble like morphs into one side of the thing. It's just a really cool, satisfying look and sound to this game. And I don't know, coming off of mini shoot adventures, I've just needed more twin stick shooter type stuff in my life, and this scratched that itch perfectly. I enjoyed this demo so much, I think I'm going to buy it. It releases tomorrow as of this recording.
Oh, okay.
Into early access, I believe. But I really enjoyed it. The upgrades, they do the plus this to damage or plus this whatever that. Sure. But there's also a variety in the weapon types. Like you can either get a cannon or you can get a laser that just does constant damage. So it's you've got a main weapon and an alternative weapon. You've also got a dash ability, kind of like, what was the game you were just talking about that had a generous dash?
Oh, Lithium City.
Yeah. It's got one of those, but it's I just don't like where it's placed with the control scheme. It's on the left bumper.
Oh, a bumper for a dash. Interesting.
Yeah,
choice.
Which takes me a little while to get used to. I didn't like it at first because it just felt awkward, but when you're doing two sticks,
right? You don't have to remove your thumb to dash.
Correct.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So instead of having to move your thumb to go dash, like I want dash to be on B or circle in your case.
Yeah.
But it makes sense to not have it on there because then you don't have to remove your fingers. I wonder if I could map it to like one of the back paddles or something.
Oh, that'd be smart. Yeah.
Again, this is on Steam only or PC only. I hope this comes to console or at least Switch, because this is Switch is great for RBRs in my opinion. But I really like the aesthetic. There is a story, somewhat of a story, but it's not the reason I'm playing it. It is the satisfying taking out these enemies, because even the enemies themselves, when they fire, their damage, they've got friendly fire on each other. So like you can actually make it so that if an enemy they automatically lock onto you, but if they lock onto you and there's one of their friends is in the way, they will do damage to them. So there's like a strategy with that. And there's even a strategy, if you're out of weapons or on a weapon cooldown, you can actually pick up like the asteroids or rocks in the vicinity and hurl them at the enemies to do damage. So like you never run out of ammo, which I don't know. It just does something fun and different. I really am enjoying the sound design and the music. It's just it's a feel-good game. I think it's only like, I want to say $13 even when it releases on early access.
Pretty
so
affordable, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to pick it up, but because I was so disappointed when the demo was over. Like, oh, you can play it again. I was like, yeah, but the fun of these is having the progress. You know what I mean? Like, what?
Yeah, let's see how far you can get in a run.
Exactly. So, yeah, I may just have to pick that one up, and I think for the first week, it's supposed to be like 25% off its list price. So it'll even be cheaper than that. It'll probably be like $10 when it releases.
That's a fun thing a lot of Steam releases do that I've noticed, where they do launch week discounts to get you
exactly.
in. Yeah.
Kind of get up some interest, and then everybody that slept on it will charge them more.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That is Galactic Glitch. It comes from developer Crunchy Leaf Games, who also published it. And the copy was provided to me by a PR rep by the name of Jesus Fabre. Actually, Ken was the guy that works for Jesus. But really appreciate those guys. They're the same guys that gave me Mini Shoot Adventures review code.
Oh,
so
they're targeting you now.
Yeah, right. They're like, we know what kind of game Scott will like. So
yeah, I do get that.
really enjoying that game. If you like that kind of game, this seems like a fun one. Again, I've only played for the hour or two of the demo, but I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, and I can't wait to get into it more.
All right. Well, you're not the only one playing anything new, Alyssa.
Yes.
Sunlight Scream.
Mm-hmm.
How are you liking it?
Well, I've already beaten the game, or at least first playthrough, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, which I am a fan of slasher films. That's my favorite subgenre of horror.
I guess I should interject. This is a visual novel style game, right? So, this is the Alyssa special.
Yes, the Alyssa special.
But with
visual
novel. Some 90s slasher action involved.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of films like Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer, etc., etc. And
that's balanced. Sorry, it's my favorite line from that movie.
Okay, I was like, what? I'm like, okay, yeah, got it. But you play as a guy named Max who has to move to Sunlight City because his mom just passed away, and he has to live with his brother Chris. And Sunlight City, is a typical small town. It's very idyllic. Everyone knows each other. And everything's peachy. It's great. Max is like, this is awesome. And then he goes to college, and a masked killer just starts murdering people left and right.
Right. Something we wish we could all be there.
Yeah, so it's just Max and his new group of friends are trying to figure out who the killer is, while, people are just getting offed one by one. So, yeah. I mean, pretty much, if you love slasher movies, you're gonna like this visual novel if you like visual novels. It's a lot of fun. It's not perfect by any means, but I had a blast playing through it. Just seeing what would occur and what would unfold, and your choices do matter in this game. And I really liked how it tells you, like, what your choices are going to cause. There's a battery icon in the top that will pop up when a choice selection appears, and if it's at low battery, that just means whatever you choose will affect the dialogue. It's not going to affect anything else. Medium power on the battery is a romance option.
Okay.
And then full power means life or death situation.
Yeah, that's a very clever way to let you know how much importance you need to put on your decision making.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And you can romance any of your friends, male or female.
Well, it being a slasher, what's the horniness level we're looking at?
Okay, so there is some fan service, and I'm not talking about the geeky fan service. I'm talking
Okay.
about the fan service you find in anime and stuff like that.
Hell yeah.
I did. You can
What
totally.
does that mean?
You see some cleavage
Wow.
like that. It's like, is this necessary? No.
But it's there for the fans, and you know what?
Yeah.
I feel serviced.
You see some underwear shots. You don't have to pursue a romantic relationship. Like, you can choose to be friends with whoever the game decides you're going to end up with based on how often you interact with certain individuals. But if you do choose to go the romantic way, it gets quite spicy, as I found out. Because I like to go the romantic route. And I chose that option, and it went. You don't see anything, but the dialogue tells you what's going on. So,
okay.
yeah. If you read a lot of smut, you're gonna be very at home with what you're reading on this.
You're gonna be taken care of. Well, slashers inevitably have boobs. That's
That is true, yeah.
So horniness is kind of just involved. It's ingrained in the genre.
And of course, that's one of the rules. Like,
Yes.
the whole.
So the real
version.
question, Alyssa, is like, how at home were you playing this game?
I had a blast with it. I did not feel uncomfortable whatsoever.
Not what I asked. I asked how at home were you
You mean
playing
with
this game?
I mean, are you talking about the slasher part or the smutty part?
The smutty part.
Well, I mean, that's a very small part of the game, but I mean, I'm very used to it. A lot of the manga I read is along those lines, and books I read, like novels, I'm used to it. In novel format. I get a little more uncomfortable with it if I have visuals, just because I think I don't want to go off base, but probably because of being on the ace spectrum. I don't know, but when it's fictional, I'm all for it. So
this is a very exciting thing to hear, guys. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. All right, I need to carry something.
But I mean, it's a very small part. It's only a few minutes out of the game, honestly. And of course, if you choose to go the friend route, that's not going to happen. Like, you're not going to see that dialogue.
Be better friends. Right, Scott? You know what I'm talking about.
I am staying out of that one.
But no, I really did enjoy the game for the most part. I loved the slasher aspect of it and that mystery. I do wish there had been more emotion, though, because you can seriously, like, one of your classmates. Are they called classmates in college? I forgot. It's been too long since I've been in college.
Probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, your classmates can be brutally murdered, and you'll find the body, which it does not show any blood or anything in this game either, by the way. You're not going to see the bodies. And it's just like, oh, so-and-so's dead. Let me call the cops. It's like, okay, now who do I go on a walk with this person, or do I go to this person's house to play video games? And then...
No time for mourning, Dr. Jones.
And that's the lucky case where they call the cops. Yeah. Sometimes it'll be someone's murdered right in front of you, and you run away, and then it's like, okay, I'm hanging out with my friend now, and your friend's like, what happened to so-and-so? And you're like, oh, they died. And they're like, oh, that's too bad.
Well...
You want to continue playing this game? Yeah. So it's just...
treated with the severity of flunking a test.
Yeah,
that's too bad.
Your friend dies, but it's just like, oh, well, let's go back to playing our video game.
Well,
so I do wish there had been a little bit more, emotion. I mean, I didn't expect, like, full-on sobbing and, like, pages and pages of dialogue about so-and-so dying.
Well, after your Korean dramas, does anybody get as sad in anything?
Well, I mean, probably not, honestly.
Well, but you can't care about the stakes if the characters don't care about the stakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It didn't feel like... I mean, it was just kind of like, oh, well, if someone dies, it's just like, okay, they died.
Yeah.
On to the next one.
Par for the course in this town.
So that was my major thing, was there's just not a lot of emotion attached to it. Even with the romance options, there's no emotion. There's no, like, anticipation or excitement. It's just, it feels inevitable. So...
And you're playing that on Switch, right?
Yeah, I played it on Switch, and it took me about 3 hours to complete.
Also available on PC and Android.
Mm-hmm.
Comes from developer Yetee, and was published by Valkyrie Initiative, and provided to us by Press Engine.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to those guys. I got to talk to you about this other game, Alyssa, because you know me and my Japanese pronunciation, so forgive me if I misdo this, but I'm going to try it.
Okay.
B Project RYUSEI Fantasia.
You got it.
All right. I watched this trailer twice. I have no idea what is going on. It just like they keep showing slides of different characters with their name, like it's a cologne commercial.
It is true.
Is this a dating? I am assuming this is a narrative adventure or like a visual novel type game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it is a visual novel, and I did not realize this before today, but this is actually based off an actual virtual idol group or music group. I did not know this before today, and apparently there's some anime. So I went in blind. So if you're a fan, you'll probably understand more than I did, but I'm still picking it up. Like, it's not.
So when you say virtual band, you mean like a Hatsune Miku kind of thing?
Yeah, like
an actual band.
I guess Vocaloid, yeah, is what they call it.
Okay.
Vocaloid singers. I didn't realize that before today, so that is totally my bad for not researching it beforehand.
Educational time.
Yeah, but this is a visual novel, and the setup is you're this girl that has just graduated high school, and she got offered a job to be an A&R person at a record label.
Mm-hmm.
And because she worked at a record store during high school and she was super knowledgeable about music, and someone that worked at this label heard her talking to a customer, and they're like, "We want you to work for us." I'm like, that's the dream for everyone, just to get immediately scouted while you're in high school. Then you just skip college. But she has to be the A&R person for this group called B Project, which is actually 4 groups combined into one to make this super group. Mm-hmm. So there are 14 different members.
Holy cow.
No romance. That's a big thing. There's no romance in this game.
Mm-hmm. But
you can befriend all the members and you give them advice, and you're kind of just guiding them along the way as they're, becoming more popular. They're trying to navigate being this huge super group. And you're just trying to give them the best advice possible so they can succeed. So it's really just, it's a happier game. Like, it's one that, it's more positive.
Is there no drama?
I haven't encountered any yet, but I'm only about 3 or 4 hours in, and I think they said a playthrough will take about 25 hours.
Holy cow.
So I do have a lot ahead of me, so there could be some drama coming up. But so far, I haven't really encountered any. It's all been very lighthearted, and, it's been flashbacks about how the main character, who is automatically named Tsubasa, but you can change the character's name to your name, which I did. So now they call me White. Because it asks for your first and last name, and I didn't think about the fact that, they call, in Asian countries, your last name is first, and your first name is last.
Right.
So I should have reversed it, but I didn't think about that. So now I'm White-san.
Hey, Whitey.
I'm like, no, I didn't think this through.
That's pretty funny.
It's pretty funny, yeah.
But
it's worth it.
You're playing this on Switch as well, right?
Yes, I'm playing this on Switch, and I really do enjoy this because I am a fan of K-pop. This is J-pop, but it's very similar. They're idols. I haven't memorized all their names yet. I'm just going to come out and say that because there's 14 members.
There's 14 of them.
And, like, in real life, it took me a month or so to memorize Stray Kids, and there are 8 of them. So, there's a learning curve. You gotta put names to faces, and, there's 14 idols in this game. So, I haven't memorized all of them yet, but I do have a couple favorites. And again, you can't romance them, but you can befriend them. I'm just really liking it, and I like the, so far, positive vibes and being encouraging, and, just being in the idol space and seeing, like, how she's trying to help them with costumes and stage design, and she tells them what she thinks their songs should sound like. They should add certain instruments or beats. It's just a really interesting look at the idol industry and the music industry, specifically the Japanese idol and music industry. So I'm digging it so far, but I feel like I should probably look up some of B Project's songs and maybe watch some anime to get some more background. Since I just found out today, as of recording, that those exist.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say that's not a huge ask for you to do.
Oh no, I mean I've got the streaming service that the anime's on, and I'm sure
Yeah.
you can probably find their songs. I mean, I'm sure they're probably on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, it's probably not going to be difficult to achieve that.
All right, it's also on PC, iOS, and Android. Developed by Mages Incorporated, published by P-Cube, and was provided to you by the P-Cube Asia team. So yeah, sounds like definitely like an Alyssa game.
For sure. Both games I talked about, both Alyssa games.
Yeah. Got one more review for you. David Newman stopped by to talk about a game he's playing on Switch. We're going to play that for you right now. Well, hello there, David Newman. How you doing, man?
I am doing all right. Just tired.
Yeah, dude, it's been a while. What have you been up to?
Lots of work. Lots of work, my friend.
Yeah. Hey, I'm sorry, Dr. Newman. I should address you correctly.
Yeah, that's okay.
Dude, you've earned it.
Well,
I don't care what all those guys on Discord give you crap about with the shaman stuff. Like, you're a doctor, man. I like it. It's awesome.
yeah, I appreciate that. But David is just fine.
All right. Well, David, you're not here to talk about your doctorate and what you do for a living. You're here to talk to us about a game that you've been reviewing for us called, I'm going to say DROS. I don't know if it's pronounced DROS or DROS, but phonetically it looks like DROS, D-R-O-S, which is a game that you're playing on Switch, but this game came out on PC about a year ago, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Almost to the year to the date.
Interesting. So this game, from the trailer that I saw, which it was only like a 30-second trailer, it looks like it's very puzzle heavy. Is that correct, or is there a little bit more to it?
I would say it is definitely more puzzle than combat. I would say 3D platformer is also probably a good maybe a 3D puzzle platformer is like the best way to describe it.
Interesting. I didn't realize there was platforming in this. So talk to me about it. What is this game about?
Okay, so you play as essentially two characters. So the first character is called Captain. Okay, he's the sword-wielding guy that you see. Captain is overrun by these DROS. His goal is to steal the flute from the alchemist who is controlling this tower, and the flute is a bounty because he's a bounty hunter. And then there is a little DROS who escapes from the lab and then goes down a sewer pipe and then finds Captain basically dead. Binds with it because DROS have to be within shells, binds with him, and that's how Captain is alive, and DROS can kind of live as well and get around.
Wait, is DROS a character, or is DROS like a race of beings?
So little DROS is what they call the character.
Uh-huh.
So little DROS is the character, but DROS is the beings. So other characters, actually, other DROS have names, but this one just is called Little DROS.
Okay. And
there is a reason for it. I won't spoil it for who is ever interested.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so DROS can independently move on his own, while Captain needs DROS to be together.
Mm-hmm. Because he's dead?
Yes, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So with Captain, your main things are the combat and slight little puzzle things. With DROS is where the 3D like platforming kind of comes in. You have to find ways to get to places and then solve the puzzles as well.
So when you play as DROS, you're like completely separate from Captain, doing this 3D platforming thing, and then coming back and reuniting with Captain?
Yes. So Captain is heavy, so he can't jump. But DROS is this little slime ball that like can hop around and like get to different places and stuff.
Slime ball makes him sound so like dirty and disgusting.
I mean, Captain likes to call him that, so I'll call him that as well. But he's
all right.
And just that's essentially what they are. They're just like slime, essentially, just kind of going around.
Well, I want to paint the picture a little bit for our audience because this game looks like an isometric view. Like it's almost like that.
Yes.
That like diagonal overhead view, and that's how you're doing puzzle platforming. So when we're saying 3D platforming, we're not talking about like a Mario style game, right?
Fair enough. Yeah, the isometric platformer, I guess, if that's a better way to put it.
Sure. I can't think of a game that's done that. Like I don't there's not a lot of platforming done in isometric view. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Oh, that's fair. It's
Okay.
But yeah, the platforming part is really just, to get around, like on different like small little things to get up on in different areas and stuff.
Makes me think of Qbert.
Never heard of that. So
You've never heard of Qbert?
Nope. You're gonna have to educate me, my friend.
Oh my goodness. We're gonna have to talk after we're done recording, but I can't believe you've never heard of Qbert. Okay, so go ahead, you non-Qbert knowing dude. So what are you actually doing with these puzzles?
You are taking away, like, you are going through like pipes and stuff like that to like shift different platforms and everything, so Captain can get through. And then also and then also is like doing the collecting thing, the like normal collectathon thing that you can do.
Sure.
It's not like a huge collectathon. There's just you gather prima, which is basically the currency that you use. And when I say currency, though, it's actually more like health and mana into one. It can that's the way to heal your character, and then also to also do some special attacks and stuff.
Okay. So are you recommending DROS to people to check out?
I think DROS is a relatively simple game. Took me about 7 hours to beat it, but not even doing everything. It's about 40 levels, 44 technically. But I think if anybody's interested in a nice little 6 to 7 hour game, with also the option to like do a lot of collecting and stuff, with an interesting way that you can end it. Like I don't think the ending per se changes, but there is a way to like alter some things that happen at the end.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, DROS comes. You're playing on Switch. Like we
Yes.
said, it comes from developer Emerge Worlds and was provided to us by Evolve PR. So shout out to those guys for hooking me up with a copy. Thanks so much for checking that one out, man. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for the opportunity, man.
Not a problem, man. We'll catch you next time, okay?
Later.
Thanks so much, David. As always, great to talk with you. Want to remind everybody again about ways that you can help out us here at The Gaming Outsider. If you'd like to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, it helps us get the word out there. Or check out our website, thegamingoutsider.com. You can find all of our written content, which includes Zack's review of Cowboy 3030. And there's a couple more, Alyssa. I forgot to write them down.
Well, I have my written review of Sunlight Scream, and
Sunlight
then
Scream.
there's Sean Coates' review of Imagine Earth.
There you go. Thank you very much. Those will be up by the time you guys hear this episode. So again, check out thegamingoutsider.com. We would love it if you checked out our written word as well. And now let's go ahead and jump into our From the Outside In topic. This week we decided to talk about gaming tattoos. This was another one that came from the brain of Mr. Parkerson himself. It was going to be half of us because Chris was going to be here as well.
Yeah.
But not all of us have gaming tattoos. So we're going to discuss those of us that don't have tattoos, which ones we would like to get if we got them. We asked the community for examples as well, so we'll see what they had to say. So I'll be the first one to say I'm pretty sure I'm the only one here. I know I'm the only one here that does not have any tattoos. None. Much less gaming ones. So what tattoos do you guys have, gaming related or not? I know we've talked about it some in the past, but for everybody here, what do you got?
Well, unfortunately, sadly, I only have a paltry 2 tattoos.
Only 2.
So rookie numbers, I feel ashamed. I wish I had more.
But you're so
What do you-
awesome, though.
Well, thanks.
I only know what one of them is, honestly.
Oh, yeah, I do, too. I haven't seen the other one.
Oh, I have on my arm a Tomb Raider tattoo.
Oh.
Oh, I do remember that one now.
That
Yeah.
is-
How have I
just,
never seen that one before?
Well, I don't know. I guess I haven't shown off my guns enough for you. Don't worry, I'll try to correct that for you.
For those
Okay.
that can't see it, it's like the tomb. It's like the what is that? The pickaxe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
from
it's like her
the new
axe.
trilogy, right?
Yeah, yep. It's just
Yeah.
it's just her like survivor axe inside of a
Mhm.
kind of a shield icon. If you played Tomb Raider 2013, it's one of the upgrade icons
Yeah.
Nice.
specifically. Yeah, I got that one back. That was my first tattoo when I was a youngin'. Got ripped off pretty bad on the price.
Oh,
Good
no.
times. What are you gonna do? You live and you learn.
Yeah.
It's a pretty simple There's not like a ton of detail.
No, of
Charge
course
you a
not.
whole lot.
Yes, yeah. This tattoo.
I wasn't making fun of your tattoo. I was just saying.
No. It was supposed to be just a simple little thing. You know, I thought I
Yeah.
was gonna pay like $60 or something. I paid more than that, like $180.
Oh my goodness.
Which is way too much. But I didn't know what I
yeah.
was doing. I didn't know anything about the culture. You know, I didn't really discuss it with any people I knew had tattoos beforehand. So I think homie saw a total mark and took advantage of it. I think that's what happened. You know, and hey,
They
more
do
power
that.
to him.
They do that.
Yeah. But then my other tattoo is it's a whole forearm piece. I can't really see it. I can't twist my arm the right way on the
I know it's
webcam, but it's a big near tattoo on the forearm, and it's basically it's an item for each member of the traveling party of near, the first near or replicant, as people would know it now. Where it's a big Beast Lord sword if you've played it at the center, and then around it is the lunar tears I got for Kaine because Nier gifts her some lunar tears in the story, and then it's got a meal scarf wrapped around it as well, and then at the base is Grimoire Weiss himself because it's hard to do an item for a book other than the book.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's like right on my wrist, and there's so much intricate detail, and the tattoo artist couldn't believe I was requesting such a intricate piece on the wrist.
I was gonna say, did that hurt? Because I've heard people say it hurts.
Yeah, because it's basically, you know, it's Grimoire Weiss's whole face.
Yeah.
Just like tattooed over my tendons, basically. Like and as we all have wrists, you know how thin the skin is around there. Yeah. So it was pretty gnarly, and it was the longest part of the tattoo because if you know Weiss, he's especially the front is just so has so much intricate detailing on him.
Mm-hmm.
But he did a great job of making his face stand out. I really didn't think they were going to be able to. I assumed it would just have like kind of the implication of Weiss's face, but you can really actually make it out on the tattoo. It's pretty cool.
Awesome,
and considering it's almost a decade old, it still looks pretty fresh. So
I hear you have to like take care of your tattoos. Like, is there like maintenance you have to do?
only for like the first month or so.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
They
that
do
I
recommend like putting sunscreen on them afterwards, after that initial period. But
Yeah, in my experience, but like from the people I've known that didn't bother taking care of it, yeah, it's definitely worth taking care of for those first few weeks. But I feel like once you do, it's good to go. I don't think you have much to worry about.
Interesting.
And some places have some places have like really fancy wraps they do where it's just like survives the shower. Yeah, and that's really nice. So
I got a buddy that has there's a massive Coheed and Cambria fan, and he's got ink all over his body with Coheed and Cambria stuff, like the dragonfly and
wow,
you're the Black Rainbow thing. I'm talking vibrant colors and detail, and I can't remember who I was talking to, like the tattoo artist that actually did it. I've never been in a tattoo shop, so I know I didn't meet him there, but he knew Josh and was like, yeah, he takes really good care of his tattoos, and so I've always wondered, like, what do you do to take care of them? But his are still like super bright, like they don't look, now you look at a tattoo sometime and they just look like they're worn, which doesn't make any sense to me. Like,
right? Well, the idea,
I think color's more likely to fade than black tattoos.
Yeah, no, I don't have any color in mine. What is it? Is it Aquaphor? Is that the big thing they recommend?
I've never used it. Every tattoo artist is different. I know the one that I like to go to, she just, she's always put that wrap on mine, so I've never actually had to use anything. When I got my first two tattoos, which I'll talk about, they told me to use the lotion, I cannot remember the name of it now, but they just told me to put like a little bit of lotion on it, like if it got itchy, and then to wash with just a bar of unscented soap 3 times a day.
Just gotta take care of it. Yeah, then this whole forearm thing, for comparison to how much I ripped off in the first tattoo, was only like $380 for the whole forearm.
Yeah.
So I got had pretty bad that first time.
Yeah, there's a lot more detail on the one on your forearm.
Yes, yeah, much significantly different process. That was a few hours, several hours. But the guy was really cool. So that's ultimately a nice personality in your tattoo artist really goes a long way, especially when you're gonna have to spend several intimate hours with them.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't. It's not like you can like mess around with your phone or anything, because he's got your arm.
Right, I guess I could do
that arm. Yeah.
My offhand, but we mostly just kind of talked the whole time. He was another person that just like didn't know video games told stories. So, I got to fill him in.
Was he interested?
Yeah, he seemed genuine. He seemed genuinely surprised and interested by the end.
Huh.
Converted. That's cool.
Interesting. What about you, Alyssa?
Okay, I've got 6, which 4 of them.
6?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I
so
mean,
you're so
they're
much-
not.
you're
They're
so
not
much
big.
cooler than I am.
I've only got one big tattoo. But I've got 2 that I'm either gonna have to get covered up or lasered off at some point because I hate them now.
Oh, word.
I was young, like Zack mentioned. I got had.
Okay.
The first one I have is this "Stay Strong," which it doesn't look as bad on the webcam, but he's like, "Oh, it won't get blobby," and it's
Yeah.
blobby. It's blobby.
Oh, that's an interesting point. If I may, because this Tomb Raider tattoo was supposed to look distressed, and it has like
Yeah.
cracks and stuff. It was supposed to have like cracks and stuff, and it kind of like if you play the game, right? It just kind of looks worn. But
Mhm.
like they've all just blobbed together. There's you can't really tell it was supposed to be distressed
Yeah.
at all now. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, this won't get blobby," and like the A
They're
and the
lying.
O's are like
Yeah.
getting really blobby, and it's also on my inner wrist, on my left inner wrist.
See, these tattoo artists out
Yeah.
here lying. Oh, don't worry. Yeah, it won't blob.
Because
again.
they're
It's
like,
all
who's
good.
going to go back to their
Yeah.
tattoo artist in 15 years and be like, dude, remember me? No, I have no idea
Yeah.
who you are.
No, I would never go back to him. He also did another tattoo that's on my right foot, which I'm not going to show, but it's an 8th note, like a musical 8th note.
Nice.
Blobby as hell.
Oh, that's kind of cool though. Are you worried that we're gonna Tarantino you if you show us your feet?
No, I just don't. I just don't like showing my feet to anyone.
That's good. You don't want to end up on
Um,
Wiki Feet.
No.
Feetfinder.com.
So those 2 I want to either cover up or laser off, which I feel like lasering would probably be better, but it's going to be more expensive. The ones that I'm not ashamed of, I have 2 on my right arm, like on the outer arm, and they're both from Outlander. They're quotes, but they
Yeah.
kind of, they're actual phrases too. This one is "Je suis prêt." Je suis prêt. Trying to get my French down. That didn't come out very well, but it's "I am ready," and that's what Jamie Fraser says in Outlander quite a bit.
Okay.
And then on the inside here is "Dinafash," which is "Don't worry," which is something I should listen to more since it's on my dang arm. But
Right, it's right there
I
in
don't.
prime view.
so I have
What-
"Don't worry, I am ready" on both on my arm, technically, both from
What's
Outlander.
the funny part about tattoos is like you just don't notice them
I forget.
after a while. Yeah.
Yeah, and specifically,
Until someone's like, "Dude, what's with that tattoo on your arm?" You're like, "What?"
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I forget I have these until someone says, "What does
Yeah.
that mean?" I'm like, "Oh yeah," and then I have one on my back of my left shoulder here. You can't see it.
Some more cursive.
Yeah. We're All Stories in the End, which is from Doctor Who. Matt Smith's Doctor, the 11th Doctor says that, but that was also a phrase used in The Haunting of Hill House by Carla Gugino's character.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm like, you could swap. I got it for Doctor Who, but I also love Haunting of Hill House. So if you want to take it that way, you can also, But I like that because I'm very into stories in general. So I like that saying. This is the most obvious geeky one and my largest one. It is my fruits basket tattoo on my upper right forearm, I guess you would say. Mostly black and white, but she's holding Kyo in his cat form, and he is orange, just like he is in the anime.
Yeah.
But it is from the manga. Like, the artwork is from the manga. And it's very hard to show on the webcam, because she wants to twist in a weird way. But I love her. She did take 4 hours. She was my longest tattoo as well. Most expensive tattoo. She was $200.
No, nice.
But
Not bad.
she's also my favorite. And she's pretty much always on display unless I'm wearing long sleeves. But yeah, she's my favorite, and those are all my tattoos. 4 are geek adjacent. This one is obviously the most geeky, the fruits basket one. And the most obvious. But yeah, I love all of them besides the first 2 I got that were from a completely different artist. These other 4 were all done by the same female artist that I adore. So, I basically only want to use her now as an artist. I gotta do something about these other 2 that I hate.
Now, have they ever made a fruits basket video game?
I don't believe so,
No.
and I feel like if they did, it'd probably be a gotcha game.
Well, that or like a visual novel. I was just wondering if we
Yeah.
could somehow pretend that it was a video game tattoo,
Yeah, sadly, no, we can't.
but sadly, no.
At least I don't think they've made a game. They could have released one in Japan or
Yeah,
something.
say it would have to be Japan only.
Yeah. But I do want to get video game related tattoos.
And
Okay.
and you, Scott, how many Tetris tattoos do you have?
I have no tattoos at all, much less gaming tattoos. I've never been a big tattoo guy. I'm not like against them or anything. I'm always worried that if I were gonna tattoo something on my body, it'd be something I was into at the moment, and then I'm not gonna be into later on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I got a buddy that like, when he was in his early 20s, he got like just barbed wire around his bicep, and when you're 20, that may be kind of cool. And I'm just kind of like, dude,
that's
you really
when I got my tattoos I don't like. 20 years old.
Yeah. I just see him with like a barbed wire tattoo with a drop of blood on the end of one of the thorns in the barbed wire. I'm like, that just doesn't look cool, man. I don't know.
Well, I think you just have to view old tattoos as like, like that's kind of a mark of me at that time.
Yeah. I suppose.
Like I still love Tomb Raider to death, but I don't know if I would feel compelled to get a Tomb Raider tattoo now. But if I look at it, I'm like, yeah, well, at that age, that's the tattoo I needed.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I were going to do anything, it would clearly be video game related, but the stuff I like is so popular with everybody, like the Zelda crest or a Triforce. Sure. Just like, there's nothing unique about that. You know what I mean? Like, if anybody is a Zelda fan and has a tattoo, they've got the Zelda crest or the Triforce. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or the Hylian shield or something. Hylian, however you say it.
And what is the issue with liking something popular? Or
it's because, not about liking something popular. It's about having something unique, artistically. Like I would rather get something that was like an artist's rendition of something that was theirs that they let me put on me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know what I mean? Like something that is not officially licensed Nintendo stuff, but something that is like, I see people do fan art of stuff, and like I think that'd be cool. But I'm also not one for characters. I'm more like cool symbols.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like the simplicity of symbols instead of actual characters. I'm not knocking you at all, Alyssa. That's just my personal preference.
No, I understand.
So I don't really know. Like I feel like Zelda is the easy way, but also the Gaming Outsider logo would would be like make the most sense, right? That's been a decade of my life dedicated to sitting here in front of this microphone.
From across your one shoulder blade to the other in giant cursive, the Gaming Outsider.
Yeah, that would be hot.
Kind of like you're, in some sort of gang.
I don't know, man. Like, I like the idea of enjoying the tattoo myself, and I never look at my back.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's my thing. I forget I have the one on my back until, I don't know, someone sees it and mentions it.
Yeah.
It's not many people. I only wear tank tops around you guys, so.
Understood.
So I feel like, or maybe like a what do you call it when you combine a bunch of logos into one logo? Like the Zelda Triforce or the shield or something. The Metroid symbol, that like lightning bolt S through a circle.
Oh yeah, sure.
Would be cool. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like something pinball related, like even just like a silver, but I would just look like a big white circle, I guess. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe a pinball with a flipper.
Maybe you could be Samus getting hit by a flipper shot into a Triforce.
There you go, man.
And
now you're thinking.
It's all connected.
Yeah, it's all connected. I like. Oh man, that's actually really good. I mean, Metroid Prime Pinball was a thing too.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it was a quality game, So yeah, I feel like, but I don't know where. Like, when I was younger and I was like, oh yeah, I would definitely get a Zelda crest. It was going to be on my chest.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sense.
Like, like that. It's just that looks cool, and it's got like the wing thing on the quest. It's always thought, or crest. I always thought that was cool, but again, I don't know if I would want that now. So, I've always thought of doing
it'd be so hard to get a tattoo of Zelda because you would never be able to take the plastic off the tattoo.
That's funny. There was an idea I had of they make like glow in the dark ink.
Yeah.
And I always thought it'd be cool to get the Triforce on my wrist.
Yeah.
So that like it glows like
I said just a few weeks ago, the one that needs to glow the brightest though is the Courage one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then, give Alyssa well, she doesn't play Zelda. But
yet.
Right.
Growth mindset, man. She's gonna play.
I'll get a power Triforce tattoo. It'll be cute. We'll be so adorable.
That would be, and we could even like put like the Gaming Outsider logo just very small, like right in the middle
Right
of
in
all
the
three of
center,
ours.
that's right. I see you're trying to get some Gaming Outsider tattoos, huh?
I know, dude. It's branding, man. Trying to get the word out there.
Yeah, well, Ryusei, I work for a bakery, and they had a standing thing. If you got their logo tattooed, they'd pay for it.
Yeah.
Dude, my manager had it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Would you want that? Like,
What? No, I wouldn't want a bakery I work for as logo.
right?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it
so-
was the best job I've ever had. I can say that, but it's still not good enough to get a tattoo.
So when I was working at a trucking company 20-something years ago, 25 years ago, the guys there were all going to pitch in, and they were going to convince me to get the logo for the company I was working at tattooed on my butt. Could you imagine if I had actually agreed to that?
Now, having not worked there in many years,
20-something years and just having
Yeah.
this, like, I'm not even going to tell you the name of the company.
well,
If you've known me for any number of years, you know what company it is here in Rockford that I used to work
I think
for.
I figured it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, what about on your left butt cheek, the Hollywood Outsider logo, and on the right butt cheek, the Gaming Outsider logo?
And then when you press them together, they kiss.
Yeah. They have like some indecipherable cursive, but when you squish them together, the cursive actually says the official thread.
Some people have no idea what that reference means. That was our first podcast before we were the Gaming Outsider. We were called the Official Thread Podcast. That was
That's
my
connecting
great
all-
idea back in the day.
All of Scott Clark's great ideas into one thing. That's your whole podcasting journey on your rectum. That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be
Anyway.
amazing.
The derriere history of Scott Clark.
So what about you guys? You obviously both have tattoos, but if you were going to get a gaming-related one in the future, what would you choose?
I mean, I definitely want a Tomb Raider tattoo, but I don't know what I would get because I don't know if I want Lara Croft herself or if I want something that's from the game but more subtle. Like, I still haven't come up with exactly what. I've just always known I wanted to get one because that's what got me into gaming.
Mhm.
And was a large part of my life. I mean, Lara Croft was my role model as a kid, so, it's carried over into my entire life. And, it's also a reminder of time, like spending summers with my uncle and weekends. And so it's not just about the game, it's about the memories associated. But I don't know what I would choose to get. But Tomb Raider is definitely the game I want to get a tattoo for. I just have to decide. And that's
There
pretty
you
much
go.
it for gaming.
All right. Zach, how about you?
Well, I've got a giant, big blank canvas here on my left forearm.
You do?
That's a guaranteed Red Dead Redemption tattoo.
I knew you were
I'll
going to
tell
say
you
Red Dead
now. Yeah.
Redemption.
Absolutely. The problem is it's harder because I'm also not crazy about like having characters tattooed on it, so I don't really want John Marston and Arthur Huggin or something. So the idea is I got to find the right symbols to take up that space, because it would be nice to have something representing both John and Arthur for sure. So I just got to figure that out, but I can now tell you that is off limits until it's a Red Dead tattoo. Absolutely.
Interesting.
So that space is reserved. I did think about getting the Hunter's Mark from Bloodborne in the past because it's such a really simple symbol that it could go anywhere. It could be on my ankle for all that it matters, but that would denote me as a hunter of the dream. That would be really cool. At some point, I will assuredly get the Final Fantasy IX Crystal logo tattoo.
Oh, that's good.
The logo because I do like the symbols. It's nice because then it's a situation of if you know, you know.
Right.
And that's I think that's really cool. And
I always like the Final Fantasy VIII logo where it's like Squall and Renoa, like almost in an embrace.
Yeah. No, it's a great logo for sure. A great little symbol.
Especially because he's like, it looks like he's not as into it as she is. He's just kind of looking all stoic. And she's just like leaning into it. You know what I mean? Like it's just, again, if you know, you know. You know what I mean?
Right. The standard Squall, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
He's the best looking guy here.
With the PS1 close up. That's good. Yeah, but the crystal is nice because it both represents 9 specifically because of that particular drawing. But so many of Final Fantasies have to do with crystals.
Crystals, yeah.
And that franchise is such a big part of my life. I feel most gamers' lives really.
Yeah.
But that'd be really cool. I'm sure There's some non. I've really been hung up on the idea of getting a skeleton hanging from a gallows on my shoulder. I think that'd be a cool tattoo.
It would be,
okay.
yeah.
Like he's just been left to rot there or something. But
you just put like a cowboy hat like on the ground right by it or something.
yeah, I'll see.
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta get a pen. I gotta write that down.
Well, if we're speaking about non-gaming tattoos, I do want to get my cat's paw print tattooed on me. I've been meaning to, I just haven't done it because I don't know why. On my ankle, it was only like her little paw print's only like an inch by an inch and a half. It'd be
So
very
we can-
small.
So Suki can always be with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
She
makes-
was like my kid. I know some people are like, animals aren't like children, but she literally was like me as a cat. Same personality, everything.
I think
yeah.
or I think pets viewed as kids is more common than it isn't these days.
Yeah, some people though still have that hang up
Yeah.
of they're not like kids.
Well, they're not young enough
Yeah.
because you can't afford to have kids anymore.
Yeah, I know.
So you gotta do the best you can out there.
And I also want to get a Sailor Moon tattoo, but not Sailor Moon herself. Like, maybe like the moon that is on her tiara, or
I feel worried that we're making you
or-
feel bad about character
no,
tattoos.
no. I'm not really a big fan of characters either, but I wanted to get Toru holding Kyo because it was a pivotal moment in the manga and the anime.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I got character tattoo there. Or maybe tattoo of Luna the cat from Sailor Moon, because she also has the moon on her forehead. I just want the moon. But I feel like the cat would also be a great option because I love cats. So
Yeah.
getting Luna tattooed on me would be a great option too. So I do want a Sailor Moon tattoo because again, that was very formative for me. Great memories with my uncle and my mom, and then my cat's paw print on me. Those are two
There
that
you
I
go.
definitely want to get. Like, they're for sure in my mind, and I do want to get a tumor tattoo at some point. Just have to figure that one out. But
Tell you,
Who was the guy that had tattooed on his arm the Grand Theft Auto 4 logo, and then he like revealed it?
Peter Moore.
Was that he like did that to announce that was a game, right?
Well, I think he also did it for Halo 3, right? Maybe.
I don't remember Halo 3. I just remember
Yeah.
GTA 4. I
The
was
early
like,
Grand Theft Auto 4 one, yeah.
I mean, I guess if you made the game, like that's.
They just had a huge exclusivity deal, remember?
Oh yeah,
Because the DLC was exclusive. But it was a big deal that GTA 4 was coming to Xbox at a launch, right? That you weren't getting it
Right.
later, as you always had.
Yeah.
So, what a weird. It had to be a fake tattoo, though, right?
I don't think so. I think I read it was real,
Wow,
but
Oh,
again,
it's-
the
that's
internet
dedication.
lies.
dedicated
is real.
man.
Yeah,
How many
It'd be
Sonic the
pretty
Hedgehog?
lame if it were a fake head or a fake tattoo like that
Yeah.
big deal. Because I mean, he was proud of it, man.
Right?
Like he was like,
yeah,
How many Sonic tattoos do you think Kevin is going to get?
I don't know if he has one. Honestly, I don't know that he of tattoos he's got. If he does have them, I'm not familiar with them, but
What a
he
slacker.
should have one.
Yeah, I will say bullet dodge because when I was younger, 16, 19 or whatever, I really wanted the Assassin's Creed logo tattooed.
Yeah,
But whew, the way that series went,
yeah.
I would have been so mad at all the wasted potential.
yeah.
But but much like many, I love those first stretch of games.
Mm-hmm. How's your roll through the original trilogy going?
It's gonna get done any day now. Well, the difficult part about replaying the Assassin's Creed trilogy is that it's 5 games. It's the only trilogy
yeah.
you have to play
Yeah.
5 games. To
There's
experience
Revelations and
Brotherhood.
Mhm.
Brotherhood, yeah.
Because they do move the modern day plot forward significantly in both of those.
What's the order? 1, 2,
One,
Brotherhood.
2, Brotherhood, Revelations,
Mm.
3,
Oh,
and Black
Revelations came before 3?
3, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then Black Flag, I think, is the last one where they put a number on it because that was Assassin's Creed 4,
That's right. Yeah.
right.
which didn't need the 4. It did
Assassin's
nothing
Creed
but
Black-
make fun of the plot. Whatever. Screw that game.
I like that game.
I'm sure if I replayed it, I will be less angry when I replay it. So I'm sure I will
Yeah,
like it a lot.
You're going to
more.
be less angry playing that now because it's not Origins and Odyssey and
Well, that's true. Well, and also I just they just gave up entirely on this modern day plot. So whatever.
All right,
What
well,
about you,
let's see
Scott? Or wait, oh yeah, you're gonna get the not tattoo.
yeah, I don't know. I keep thinking of like symbols, like
Right.
you know what I mean. Like I just
Metroid. Yeah.
I don't want it to be like a full on art piece. I just like some
Yeah.
kind of symbol. I mean, I think even like the Master Sword would just be too on the nose. You know
I
what
do
mean?
feel, and this is not to diminish you, I'm not trying to talk you out of it. I feel like I see more Zelda tattoos than any other gaming franchise.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that,
I do
I
too.
mean, yeah, I think it does. It has one of the most recognizable symbols in gaming, so I guess it makes for an easy tattoo to figure out.
I mean, it's beautiful in its simplicity. Of
course,
Triforce.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like it's just perfect in that. But yeah, that's why it's like my go-to. But it would have to be really something special and unique,
Maybe
but
you could
also simple.
what are you collecting in A Link to the Past? Because you're collecting the medallions in Ocarina of Time. Is there
Well, at
something
the
you're
beginning,
collecting?
there are 3 medallions you're collecting, and then it's the crystal pieces.
Maybe you could get the 3 medallions as a tattoo,
Yeah, you could do that.
because then that would be specific to your favorite game,
Hmm.
as well as it would be something more obscure. from
But that
Zelda.
was only in the first half of the game, right? That was
Yeah.
you get those 3 or not medallions, like necklaces or pendants, I think they are, and you get those, and then that unlocks the Dark World, and then
Yeah.
the Dark World you're doing the 7.
You should just get a tattoo of the rabbit you transform into when you go to the Dark World too early.
Yeah, the thing that you do for like literally 3 minutes in the
Dude,
entire game.
talk about only real fans are gonna know.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
imagine how excited you'll be when you get that one guy you're out drinking your fancy craft beers, and he's like, "Hey, dude, I don't want to sound weird, but like, is that the rabbit from A Link to the Past?" Think about how excited you'd be
I'd
meeting
be
that
very
guy.
excited.
Yeah,
Just have it like right here on my forearm, like
yeah.
so.
Oh,
I don't want to have it like hidden, because I'm not, like how often do I show off the guns?
right. Well, maybe you need 2 more. We could get a. I also had kind of an idea before I decided to use the forearms for something cool. I thought it would have been cool on your like wrist for a Matrix tattoo of like one of your wrists being a red pill and the other being
Oh,
the
yeah.
blue pill.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
That would have been really clever.
Yeah, it would be.
I had a buddy that had Japanese or Chinese symbols on each of his inner arms, and one was knowledge and one was power. I always thought that was
Okay.
kind of cool.
Yeah, that's
Or
pretty
at
cool.
least he thought that it was knowledge.
Well,
about-
yeah, that's the thing. Is like nobody ever knows if they are actually.
That's a
that-
joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's see what the community thought. Over on Facebook, AJ Youngbluth says, I need to find an artist who can draw it up how I'm imagining, but I want to get a tattoo of Donkey Kong riding Yoshi's back. It would be a tattoo in honor of my brother and the relationship that we had. We always played all the Donkey Kong Mario games together, and he always would choose Donkey Kong as his character, and I am always Yoshi. I like that. That's
Yeah, that's sweet.
really cool. Yeah. Zach?
Scott Boers writes in, this is a 2-for-1. It has a video game character. It's also a Whitest Kid You Know skit. And yes, I really have Happy Birthday Rick on my arm. It's a, what in the world? Is that Bowser rocking out on a cross?
Wait,
He's surfboarding around a wooden cross. This is a picture.
Mhm.
This is great for radio. And then it's just Bowser rocking out with some shades on, right?
I want to see in the background. There's some greenery.
Oh, a little pot leaf action
Yeah.
going on there. Sure. Scott Boers knows how to party. I don't remember the Happy Birthday Rick skit from Whitest Kid You Know, but I also haven't watched it in a
I had to
long
look
time.
up what that acronym stood for.
I didn't know.
I'd
what
never
it was.
heard of that show.
Yeah. Well, they had the original great bit about Abraham Lincoln getting shot and how maybe he had it coming. Which is
Oh,
really funny.
wow.
Oh.
Because he had poor theater manners was the joke. He was like hooting
Oh.
and hollering during the skit and being like, "Oh, Martha, that's so hilarious." So it's just John Wilkes Booth in the audience getting. He's like, somebody's got to say something, and then that's really why John Wilkes Booth killed him, because he had bad theater manners. It's really funny.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Alyssa?
Okay. You might have to help me with this one, Scott. But Brian Mounts says, mine's terrible and old, but I love it for what it is. And it's on his shoulder. Is this the Hylian shield, or is it just
It is a shield
the shield? Okay.
with the Zelda logo,
With the
Zelda
Triforce.
Triforce
Yeah.
on it.
Okay.
But yeah, he says it's terrible. It's not terrible. It's just like the Triforce is a little off centered.
Yeah.
But
Well, maybe it's perspective, right? It's the shield's coming forward at an angle.
yeah,
That's how you-
exactly.
yeah. See.
We'll go.
Also, sometimes tattoos look weird because they twist, like when you move or try to photograph
yeah.
them.
That's
So,
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do gotta get
I
a
like
good
the simplicity of it though. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to get a simple Green Lantern tattoo at some point as well. Speaking of
Like just
simple
a
ones.
lantern logo.
Yeah, just a Green Lantern logo somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I'm worried you'll get someone be like, "Oh, you're a big Bang Theory fan, huh?"
Oh,
And then I will
yeah.
punch that person in the freaking jaw.
I didn't realize you hated Big Bang Theory so much.
I don't, but it is so frustrating. I feel like so many people are like, "Oh, who's your favorite superhero?" You're like, "Oh, Green Lantern." Like, "Oh yeah, dude. Oh, like Shelton." And I want to hit this person. It's even like his Funko Pop is him in the Green Lantern shirt.
I know it is.
So it's just I hate the association upsets me with the comic.
Gotcha.
The show is not good, but it's not the worst.
First half of it's good.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
It goes on way too long.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but
Isn't that kind of the curse of most sitcoms?
seriously, like,
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
a lot of shows just in general, like, don't know how to quit when they're ahead. Like Breaking Bad had 5 seasons; it was perfect.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like quit while you're ahead.
Is that it's a good thing that every show get canceled at 2 seasons, right? They can never get bad.
And it's not like there's nothing
True.
else to watch. So,
Well, yeah, that's true.
well, thanks, guys. That was fun hearing what you guys what else you would do. I don't have my non-answer was fantastic, but
Yeah, appreciate you. You got perfect glistening skin, untouched by dreadful ink. you
Yeah.
know?
my wife would shoot me.
If you have a tattoo?
You haven't defaced
She-
the temple of your body like we have.
Right? She hates tattoos.
Oh my god!
I tried to convince her actually, like when we got married, instead of having rings, to get like the finger tattooed.
Oh, I've
Sure.
seen those. Yeah.
I always thought that was a really cool idea, but she was definitely not down for that.
got down.
Been a lot cheaper,
Yeah.
Sure.
and I can't take it off.
Right. She would have had you locked down for life.
Right. Well, Zach, next time,
Yeah, but dude, my partner wants me to have more tattoos.
really.
Yeah, so I got the opposite problem.
Next time we record, Zach, I'm going to be seeing you in person.
Right. Yeah, as long as everything comes together. Let's not make promises.
Uh-oh.
But no, I'm just saying I don't see a problem. I just don't want to promise something and not deliver. I don't like doing that.
Okay. Well, I will be in Portland.
The
in
plan
like
is for
3
us to
days.
record in person.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That is a plan. If not, I'm going to be recording by myself, or hitting up Alyssa and just
Your favorite person.
yeah.
Yourself.
But regardless, next week we're going to be talking about gaming novels. In the past, I think we've talked about books, that nonfiction books about video game development and that kind of thing. But we want to talk about gaming novels, like books based on the Halo series, or I think we talked about Rapture in the past.
BioShock, for sure.
What are some gaming novels that you guys have read? So stay tuned to social media for that next week. We will hit you up with that for sure. But that's going to do it for this episode of The Gaming Outsider. Thanks so much, as always, for listening. This episode was produced by Kevin Honigford. All the music you hear is written and performed by Grant Henry of Stemage and Metroid Metal. His website, again, is stemagemusic.com. Please be sure to email us if you have any questions or concerns. Unless, of course, you're trying to sell me SEO stuff. I'm not interested. Seriously, like 6 to 12 of them a day. Like
Man,
I'm close to like just starting to block people. It's really bad.
You're a hot commodity out there.
Yeah.
The email address, if you have a legit question, is feedback@thegamingoutsider.com. Zach, do you have any parting words or recommendations for our listeners?
I mean, the Steam sale has distracted me from all other forms of media.
Yeah.
Because I didn't mention it. I forgot to mention it earlier, but I got Hades
Oh yeah.
and on the sale, and it just kind of eats you up.
Yeah.
You think, oh yeah, that's fun. I'll boot it up for a quick round just to remind myself, and then several hours pass.
It just comes right back to you right away.
It's such a good game, dude.
Yeah.
It's insane. Oh,
Alyssa, how about you?
Of course, we're going to Alyssa's Korean corner right now. And I have to give a shout out to Brandy. She's probably not listening, but Scott introduced her to me. And she's my K-drama bestie. And she kept talking about this certain actor named Lee Jong-suk. And I didn't know who he was, but she finally convinced me to watch one of her favorite K-dramas called W, Two Worlds Apart. And it's amazing. I get the hype now, Brandy. I get why you love Lee Jong-suk so much. Because, the story is about this 30-year-old woman who, her dad's a famous cartoonist. He's writing, the most popular webtoon in South Korea called W. And he wants to kill off the main character because he just wants to end the story. But she gets drawn into the comic world and she saves the character's life. And then it's just about her going in and out of this world course, she develops feelings for the main character. And it's just so interesting because it does subvert a lot of the typical tropes of K-dramas, which I wasn't expecting to see. And it's suspenseful, it's funny, it's got some horror elements. Of course, it has romance elements and drama. But it was great. And again, I'm now a fan of Lee Jong-suk now because he was phenomenal in this series. So, Brandy, thank you for encouraging me to watch this show. And I see why you love him and this show so much now, because it was fantastic. Sadly, though, I think you can only watch it on Viki. It used to be on Netflix, but they removed it. So you had to be pretty dedicated to K-drama or Asian television if you want to watch it.
Well, Brandy, I hope you're proud of yourself. Look what you did.
Oh, we talk all the time about K-dramas.
Yeah.
She's
I'll
watched
say
way
about-
more than I have. Trust me. She is way more knowledgeable.
One of the rare instances of me making a great connection between two people.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I was like, you guys need to be friends, and lo and behold.
Mission accomplished.
For me, I recommended a couple weeks ago the new, I might have been more than that, the new Eminem song, Houdini.
Oh, yeah.
And the album dropped this weekend. And I listened to it actually while I was mowing somebody's lawn. And man, I don't like rap. I really like this album. It is the most interesting thing about it to me is that he's doing typical things lyrically to piss people off, which I kind of like.
It feels like a old Slim Shady.
Right, but he also cleverly makes it okay. I almost don't want to ruin it what he does, because it's almost like a narrative thing that's going on the album.
There's, if I may,
yeah,
because I've been listening to this as well, which is
have you?
Not typical for me with music.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's one lyric where it was really good, where he's like, "You're gay," and not the good kind either, where two guys bang each other and hate beaver.
Right.
And I was like, see, that's great, because he's kind of saying like, yeah, I'm still going to say what I want, but also gay people are cool.
Right.
And I was like, look at that. That was kind of clever.
It's very clever. And some of the roles that he does where he has such a talent of rhyming at the end of phrases, words that you wouldn't think would be in a rhyming song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like how to describe that, but I'm kind of fascinated because like I feel like every time I listen to it, I'm picking up something else that I didn't pick up before. And like some of it makes me kind of go, ugh. Not sure if he should have said that, but then he references it later in a way that almost like writes himself out of it from being, like, so like in context, it's okay what he's doing. You know what I mean?
Particularly with the song Guilty Conscience 2, right? There's a lot of that.
I don't know the names of the tracks. I just listened to it. I wasn't paying attention to the titles. But he even says stuff about, disabled people and stuff.
Yeah.
And at first you're like, whoa. And then it's kind of like, oh, like he's getting the reaction, but then it's also be like, well, you didn't listen to the whole thing. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like I read the headline, didn't read the entire article. It's kind of doing that in music form, and I just think it's very clever what he's done. So
I couldn't ask you your favorite track because you don't know what they are.
No, I mean, but it's hard to top Houdini. That just it's actually there's a ballad at the end with his daughter that is where it's like got recordings of his daughter speaking when she was a kid. That it just kind of gets you choked up a little bit. It's a pretty sad song. It's not typical rap, but it's really good. But I'd have to give it another listen and look at the track names to give you. It's the entire album is very staccato. Like the tracks are so short.
I don't know what the hell staccato means. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, staccato is in music. It's when you play a note. It's like you just put a quick dot on it. It's like you play a note very quickly and then you release the note. So it's like. Here's a track, here's a track, here's a track. Like the tracks are very short, even by today's standards. It's like before you know it, you're on to the next track, and he rolls into them to the next one so well that you almost don't even realize you're listening to another track. You know what I mean? It's like everything is in short little bite-sized pieces, but it makes a continuous album. So anyway, I didn't know you were listening to it, man. That's awesome. So, and I'm not a rap guy. I think I said that last time. I'm a rock, punk, kind of guy, and but there's something about his rhymes that just really work for me. And I know that sounds stereotypical. Oh yeah, the white guy listens to Eminem.
With the white rapper, yeah.
Yeah, but I just really like his cadence and like how he can sound angry and happy at the same time. Sometimes I don't know. It's just really anyway.
And unlike Will Smith, he doesn't have to cuss his raps to sell record.
That'd make a great lyric. Well, I do.
Right.
Anyway, Zach, Alyssa, it's been a pleasure as always. We'll see you guys next week. Until then, I'm Scott Clark with Zach Parkerson and Alyssa White, and we are The Gaming Asset. And remember, there's no such thing as a bad game, just games that aren't for you.